Good evening, welcome to Ulster Rugby Live. With us for round 4 of the Guinness Pro 12, it's hello to Stephen Ferris and to Ryan Constable. Now let's check out the state of play before tonight's games. Ulster are second in the Pro 12 table behind the Ospreys, who meet Leinster tonight. Cardiff are third and Glasgow fourth in the other match being played tonight. Treviso are currently 3-0 up against the Dragons. Now, gentlemen, Ulster have never won at this venue. Can they tonight, Stephen?
I'm not too sure. I think if you look at the team sheet, it's very positive. You've got Rory Best coming back. He's been integrated back into the system as well. So I think myself and Ryan were talking about the two teams, and it's very much the back lines that we're looking at. But Ulster need to get a good platform up front, win their scrum, get good set-piece line-out ball, and hopefully we can get those boys running.
How significant do you think it is, Ryan, that some of the bigger names are back for Ulster tonight to bolster this side?
Well, it's huge. You look at that experience, the difficulty comes with integrating them back in, and a nice problem to have, but it does come with its challenges, getting that continuity of performance. But you look at that bench, to be able to bring someone like Rory Best off the bench is immense. And if Ulster can dominate in that area at the breakdown, there's so much strike power in both teams. You feel it's whoever gets the quality of possession will be able to unleash those backlines.
OK, let's hope for a cracker on the artificial surface this evening. Two great backlines. Could it be one up front? We shall see. Let's hand to former Scottish international Craig Chalmers. But first, good evening to Jim Neely.
Well, it's good evening to Scotstoun, and the expected rain that was supposed to be overlapping most of Glasgow hasn't arrived yet. Pitch in Great Nick. Ulster have made a number of changes. Back into the forwards come Andrew Warwick, Franco van der Merwe, Ian Henderson and Roger Wilson. Behind the first game of the season for Jared Payne, and a first start of the season for Darren Cave, with Charles Piaton moving to the wing. As Jared Payne hasn't featured at all in any matchday squad so far this season, as we hope has put behind him a number of little niggling injuries. It's a sellout here at the headquarters of Glasgow Warriors, in excess of 7,000, and be interesting to see, Craig, how the players cope with this artificial pitch.
Yeah, it's nice and smooth, and it's it's a lot softer than some of the artificial surfaces that I've seen in the past. Yeah, but I'm not sure if all the players like it. And I was speaking to the Ulster management guy before the game there, and he's saying the Ulster boys don't like it too much. So as far as Glasgow is concerned, they hope that it's a good thing for them tonight, good omen tonight for them.
Well, Glasgow a bit disappointed about losing the game in the last minute a week ago down in Cardiff. They have a wee problem in the back row, so Chewy Uenivi, the Namibian, comes in. A first start for the 19-year-old flanker Lewis Wynn, but plenty of experience, and all international front five built around Greg Peterson from the USA and Johnny Gray, the captain. An all international back division, first game of the season, and welcome back to Finn Russell on his 24th birthday. And lots of talent out wide, particularly on the wings, with Leonardo Sarto and Tommy Seymour, formerly of Ulster. Referee this evening, officiating in his 51st Pro 12 game, is from Wales, Mr. Ian Davies. So the new 4G pitch, and the only other time Ulster played in one like that has been in Cardiff. And Paddy Jackson, with his second start of the season, gets it away. And straight down to his former Ulster team colleague, Tommy Seymour, who's on fire this season with no fewer than 6 tries. That was a knock forward by the Glasgow skipper Johnny Gray. Referee and Davis waiting for advantage to Ulster, but it's not coming back. And that's most un-Johnny Gray-like.
No, it's a bit cold first minute there. Johnny's dropped that cold on the deck, and a great opportunity for Ulster now to attack the Glasgow line. When you get into 22, you've got to try and make the most of it, come away with some points. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for Ulster, and Glasgow will be desperate to keep them out.
Well, you think Johnny Gray is big. Look at the size of the big hairy fella beside him.
Yeah,
he's the USA international Greg Peterson, who's 6'8" tall.
Yeah, he's a big old unit. I stood next to him in the lift down in Swansea once, and I got a sore neck just looking at him. So yeah, he's a big old unit, and he'll take some bringing down tonight.
Crouch.
Not much in the way of breeze here at Scotstoun, so conditions with this, particularly this new 4G pitch, just about perfect. First scrum, Sean Reedy on the open side for Ulster. Ruan Pinar, good solid looking scrum. Bit of that weight advantage there to the home side. Stuart McCluskey has another typical surge. Thought he might make it because of a broken nose. Darren Cave, great to see him back in the starting side. Away they go again. Andrew Warwick, the loose head prop. Quick ball for Ulster is needed, and they've got the quick ball. Rob Herring is saying, you go forward and I'll assist you. It's good defending though by Glasgow. Rodney Ayew waits, but they miss him out. Alan O'Connor, who played last week, takes it forward.
Penalty advantage 4, not rolling away.
Penalty advantage to Ulster. Number 4, Greg Peterson not rolling away. Pienaar moves it. Herring couldn't quite get it away. Leonardo Sorto came in, but all that Ulster pressure has produced a fairly decent chance for points.
Yeah, that lovely little move off the scrum there with Ludick and McCloskey. You know, McCloskey's a big physical runner, and they're going to try and attack that 10 channel. Finn Russell just back from 4 months out with a head injury. Obviously wearing headgear tonight to try and protect him a little bit. But yeah, the new guy Lewis Way missed a tackle there, which got McCluskey over the gain line, and got a penalty which looked like pretty easy 3 points.
Nicely laid back there by loose head prop Andrew Warwick, and there was the breakdown, and Ruan Pienaar as ever looking for options. So Paddy Jackson, as was just about the case in Ulster's last game a week ago at the Kingspan Stadium, he kicked a fairly early penalty just to steady the ship against the Llanelli Scarlets. Can do something similar here at Scotstoun, and as Stephen Watson in the studio reminded everyone, it's a venue in which Ulster have not been successful. Close, but no cigars. Jackson. Oh dear. Well, 3 points gone a begging, and Ulster will not be happy with that.
There's a bit of a breeze there, and they just overcompensated there with that one. They thought it was going to come back, but no, it didn't come back at all, and missed on the left-hand side.
Got the impression he just maybe snatched at that. He just didn't have his usual lazy rhythm there.
There is quite a breeze. There's a bit of a crosswind there, and just overcompensated. But
Glasgow will be very happy with that, needless to say. So here's the man, and a very happy 24th birthday to Finn Russell. How good to see him back playing rugby again after what looked like an horrific injury sustained down in Galway toward the end of last season. Jared Payne, his first start of the season, always makes ground. Ball carried in two hands. Pienaar looks for a runner, gets it in the shape of Roger Wilson. Away to his fellow back rower, Sean Reedy, now capped for Ireland. Pienaar with 88 of those for South Africa. Ulster trying to put a little bit of width on it. Here goes McCluskey, and again he makes some decent ground. And again the forwards do their job. Jackson. Darren Cave. Playing it inside centre. Ball left behind, and again Glasgow infringing at the breakdown. That's twice within a couple of minutes.
Yeah, they're pretty eager there. Just the way that what Ulster are trying to do there. They're playing at the middle of the field. They're coming back blind, back at the middle again, coming back blind, looking for a mismatch up that blind side. Didn't get it there, but another penalty and another opportunity for 3 points. Alex
Dunbar getting some treatment. Looks like his left arm. I think he may well have got it trapped in there. In fact, it's his right shoulder. So much for my knowledge of anatomy. That was the set up nicely by Jared Payne, and away smoothly as ever. And Jackson has decided to have a pop from way out. Missed one close in. Can he make amends for that to give Ulster the lead? Still just over 5 minutes played. That's going to hang nicely. It has to come in though. That's a great kick by Paddy Jackson. Well, isn't it amazing? You miss the easy ones and then you land the screamers.
Yeah, he fully committed to that one. A good 45 metres on the fly. It was well over, but lovely strike by Paddy Jackson.
Well, still concerned on the far side about I think it's Alex Dunbar, and the referee is going over to see what's happening there. They may well have to make a decision. Well, he looks like he's up again. I'm not sure he's 100%.
It didn't look too bad. It didn't look too bad.
I think the jar of the shoulder, yeah, just I think.
Just a little twist, a little nip. But he looks okay. He looks like he's a big, strong lad. He'll be hungry to get back involved.
Yeah, we'll see Gregor Townsend tapping his shoulder as if to say, I know exactly what it is. He's probably had one or two of those in his day. Last season with the Glasgow Warriors before he moves to the national side, which I'm sure he'll relish, and everybody in Scotland will be 100% behind him, no doubt.
No, definitely. It's good to see a Scotsman back at the helm again.
Finn Russell. Oh, he's given that plenty of height. What a good kick. Well taken in though by Ulster. And again, the forwards set it up. Rob Herring skippering the side tonight. Rory Best on the bench. Pienaar, Franco van der Merwe. Didn't start last week, which is a pretty rare occurrence. Pienaar to kick from just outside his 22. He's got just about enough of that, but that's very well taken.
Off the ball. Time off.
And that's the third penalty at the breakdown by Glasgow, and I think Johnny Gray is going to be spoken to by the referee.
Yeah, I think that was for a bit blocking, stopping the Ulster wingers, Ulster players from getting to the ball. The Glasgow player changed his line and blocked the Glasgow player from attacking the ball. So I think that's what that penalty was for.
He can go back straight. He can't take a player out. Okay. You have
Player
to
was taken out as the kick was being chased, and this is the kick. That was Pienaar, and Ulster chasing it. Louis Lulick was just blocked there by somebody. I couldn't quite see who it was.
I think it was Johnny Gray, I think.
Of all people. Well, as Paddy Jackson finds his touch in the far side, I can tell you, dear viewer, that the rain, having been so good for so long, has decided a little bit late, about 5 or 6 minutes late from the kickoff, has decided to come down, and it is coming down. Look at that. Dear, oh dear.
Stay inside N7.
Not great.
Herring with the throw. First line out. Pienaar. Jackson had to check a wee bit. Inside to Ludick off his right wing. Charles Piatow playing on the left. Good ball by Ulster. Roger Wilson with ground, and the ball was stripped away from the Ulster's most experienced player. Good tackle by McCluskey. Sean Reedy in there as well. McCluskey very nearly getting himself offside. Finn Russell ups to kick, and he's just about hoiked it infield. Jackson to Jared Payne inside his 22. Down to Russell, who's covering well with Sarto outside him, but it's back inside to Stuart Hall, who always gives Ulster a lot of trouble. Kicked a huge penalty last time out to deny Ulster a losing bonus point here. This is the new fella, Uanivi, Chewy Uanivi, the Namibian international. That's gone all over the place. Play on, says the referee. Payne, Rodney Ayew, Herring. Ulster can shift this. They've got men over. They must look at this. Reedy gets it away. Ian Henderson, now McCluskey. Big handoff. Ulster into the Glasgow 22. Pienaar. Good little offload to Rodney Ayew. Pienaar. Nice dummy. Taken on by Reedy. Good pressure by the men in white. Henderson. Pienaar again.
Come back and check potential foul play against White, okay? In the 22 metres just inside Sean, 5 minutes on the touchline.
Referee has been asked to have a wee look at potential foul play by an Ulster player. Jackson into Cave. Nicely done. Jared Payne for the Glasgow line. He's got it down. But will it be ruled out for foul play? Because Ian Davis is disposed to look to Gareth Simmons, his fellow Welshman.
Yeah, it all comes from a turnover by Glasgow, and then great hands by Ulster, getting it to the width, stretching Glasgow, coming back again, and a beautifully constructed little move back inside to Jared Payne, hitting a fantastic line, but they're just checking for potential foul play by White, by Ulster. I'm not sure where it was, but they seem pretty confident that everything's okay. The Ulster boys seem happy.
Well, was it here or was it a bit later on? I'm really not quite sure. Pienaar got it away nicely. This is Jackson. I think a little bit of obstruction there.
No, I think it was just a little bit of a rest off the ball there, and the foot was raised, but he stood in the ground. It maybe looked like he stood in the player, but it definitely stood in the ground.
Well, your younger eyes are much better than mine. Was there a stamp went in there? I don't think there's too much to worry about.
No, it was more the Glasgow player taking the Ulster player out. And it looked like the Ulster player stood on the Glasgow player, but he missed him totally and stood over him, and it should be fine.
Let's hear what Ian Davis and Gareth Simmons are discussing.
He came in the side there. I mean, is that
that's Henderson.
Yeah, show me that again.
He dumped it on the flat of his back.
Same shot again.
He dropped him. So yeah, I mean, looking at it from that angle, it looked like he dropped him, so that might come back.
Well, the Glasgow crowd want to have set up. I don't think that's going to happen. Henderson actually came in offside there for a start. He went right round the back of that, and he's picked up Tommy Seymour and he's dumped him on the flat of his back.
Yeah, Gareth, I'll tell you how I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that the leg has definitely been lifted, okay?
Yes.
For me, I'm at penalty. Do you think it's any greater sanction than a penalty for that?
Just take one more look and see where he puts his leg.
I think it is, but Ulster then denied the try.
You're telling me he's landing on his back, therefore you're potentially thinking yellow card,
yes,
Gareth?
I think his legs do go over the
Let's just have a look. I'm between penalty and yellow.
It's a real fine line.
Thank you.
A real fine line. And I think that's okay. I think, he lifted his leg, but, he didn't land on his head, land on his back.
And did he tip him beyond the horizontal, which is the interesting, and I don't know that he did. I don't know that he did. If that was a judo through, it would be a perfect 10-point.
It's a harsh yellow card if he gets
Let
it.
me hear what the referee is saying.
Okay. 6. 6.
I think he's going for the pocket,
There's no need for you to play it up. You've clearly put him on his back. It's a yellow card. Off you go, Talon.
I think there was no need. There was no need for Henderson to go in there anyway. The ball was coming back. He came in from the side. It probably should be a penalty against Ulster anyway when we look at it.
Well, that's Ulster's third yellow card of the season. Ian Henderson, and Ulster fans shaking their heads, but I suppose if the law is being applied, then he was actually guilty.
Well, I think it's disappointing when you score such a good try to get a guy sin-binned and get penalised. But they just got to get back into it and keep their heads down and get back to the game.
And the try was beside the post, so instead of probably going 10-0 up, Ulster stay at 3-0 up, and they're down for the next 9 minutes or so to 14 men, and Glasgow, I'm sure, will want to capitalise. So little mistakes cost you points and cost you matches and cost you playoffs.
Yeah, it's been mostly Ulster so far, so Glasgow now have an opportunity here, line out to get some ball and look after it. They've turned over the ball they've had so far, so they need to look after it.
That didn't go together straight. Ulster not contesting, Glasgow moving forward. Good bit of defending there by Ulster, but Glasgow have maintained possession and have maintained their composure. In goes Herring, Ulster's captain, down to ground it goes. Now, has it come off the ground? That's a good piece of defending by Ulster, because the ball never actually touched the ground, therefore the maul situation kept going, and Glasgow couldn't get it back, so it's an Ulster scrum.
Yeah, excellent play by Ulster. Good forwards play, keeping the guy off the ground, and ball got to deck there, and it's a turnover ball. And Glasgow need to get the ball in hand. They've not had the ball yet. They have to get a good line speed here, get in Ulster's faces, and try and get this ball back as soon as possible. Get the back row and get the wingers, and get Stuart Hogg into the game.
Well, no Henderson at this scrum, so I think Ulster will probably put somebody into the back row since it's their put in. They certainly want to secure possession and
put the winger, the blind winger, and Ludic will go into the scrum here to make the 8.
Bind.
Xander Ferguson on the tight head side for Glasgow, the heaviest man in the pocket, just over 20 stones, and he's only 20 years of age. Good squeeze by Glasgow, but Ulster have done well. Jackson, McCluskey, no way through, but he's got away to Jackson. Here's Piatau. Oh, fabulous by Piatau. All the way back goes Sarto, and Piatau couldn't quite gather it. Referee playing advantage to Glasgow for the knock forward. Well, they've kicked it down to Ulster, but there was no advantage came from that, so Glasgow maybe a bit lucky there to get the scrum. I thought after you kicked it, the advantage was over, but it depends how you kick it, and I guess to whom you kick it.
Yeah, exactly. That was great to see Charles Piatau with the ball in hand. He's such a joy to watch. I wouldn't like to play against them, and Stuart Hogg got totally stood up there.
Which is not like Stuart Hogg, because he's normally the standing up man, isn't he?
Exactly, so I'm not happy with that one, but Piatau, fantastic player, and they'll be trying to get the ball to him as much as possible, but they've got to earn the right to go wide, and they'll have him coming in at different angles.
At the moment it's Treviso 10 and Dragons 5 and Leinster 3 up against the Ospreys in Dublin. Ulster would not be unhappy if Leinster could manage to squeak that one, but more importantly Ulster will have to get this one out of the way first.
No, definitely, it's been a good start by Ulster. I think they'll be really happy with the way things are going. Glasgow obviously got the extra man, but pressure on the pitch, percentages in areas of the pitch, Ulster are certainly winning everything at the moment. But with that extra man, Glasgow have got to try and take advantage of it. It's really important time to maybe try and get a try on the board.
It was a Glasgow scrum, so Ulster haven't bothered putting an extra man in. They're playing two flankers, Roger Wilson, the number 8 on the near side, and Sean Reedy on the other. Down it comes, and I think Xander Ferguson just guilty of buckling a wee bit and taking that one down against Andrew Warwick.
Yeah, let's get the high tire, okay?
Yeah, when you've got one guy off in the bin, you're always gonna play scrum with 7. Because obviously the attacking team as well, who are putting the ball in, the hooker's not really pushing anyway, so it's 7 against 7 really. They're going to accept that Glasgow are going to win the scrum and probably exit.
And Davies has come round to the near side of the scrummage, the side near the touchline, to see what's going on between Messrs Ferguson and Warwick. See if anybody hinges. Well, they've gone down on the other side with Gordon Reid and Rodney Ayew up against each other, but he's happy to let that go. That's good refereeing. Pyrgos. Good solid driving forward there by Alex Dunbar. Pyrgos. Piatow. Just a bit of a slip on this artificial pitch. As Piatow managed to squeeze the body round to present that he has, just about. Van der Merwe waits, but they miss him out. They take it to Alan O'Connor, who stops and then makes a decent bit of ground. Pienaar in quickly. Jackson looking to kick, and he does. And that's not a bad effort, is it? Or is it too far? Yes, it is.
A great carry out of defence by Alex Dunbar there, and a good kick. Piatow is not a man you want to kick to loosely, but the Glasgow defence came up pretty quickly there, and poor kick by Paddy Jackson there. It was disappointing, obviously, for Ulster to have done so well, to turn over the ball so cheaply. So now Glasgow, another opportunity for Glasgow in the Ulster half to try and get some pressure and get some points on the board.
Gareth Robinson, Ulster's senior physio, on to see what's going on with Stu McCluskey. And I think Stuart McCluskey is coming off. Well, that's another worry for Les Kiss. You don't want to be losing somebody as big and strong and physical as Stu McCluskey at this stage of the game. But fortunately, they've got Stuart Oling on the bench, but he won't probably want to come on under these circumstances.
That's a big blow, because McCluskey's been pretty impressive so far tonight. He's carried the ball really well on a couple of occasions, and he looks like a bit of a dead leg. He's certainly limping off there. But it's looked good. Ulster got such good depth and depth in the back line, so Stuart Oling coming on.
Yeah, McCluskey got that nose of his broken quite badly a week ago, as we mentioned earlier, leaving the field, and Stuart Olding coming on for his 52nd Ulster cap, another Irish international. Now can Glasgow take advantage of Ulster still being down to 14 men? Well won by Gray. Pyrgos will drive forward. Ulster defending pretty decently. Pyrgos again. Finn Russell has a little bit of a cut. Saw a gap there, but the door was closed. But Pyrgos in quickly. Johnny Gray, the captain for tonight, taken by Van der Merwe, his opposite number. Bit of width in that. This is good stuff by Glasgow. Good tackle as ever by Louis Ludick. Doesn't make too many mistakes. Taken on by Ferguson. Best bit of continuity of the game so far by Glasgow. Knocked forward, referee playing advantage to Ulster, but none comes, and the visitors will get the put into the scrum with 7 men.
That was better for Glasgow for 3 or 4 phases there, but just broken down there. There's 1 or 2 new faces in the Glasgow team tonight, and I think they're just getting used to this, the patterns and the plays, and who's meant to get the ball at certain times. And you just saw there's a little bit of misunderstanding there in the Glasgow attack, but Ulster will be delighted because with 14 men in the pitch, they want to be commanding the ball and directing the traffic here, and I think Jackson here will just get the ball down into the Glasgow half and put the pressure back on them.
Now with 19 international Scottish appearances, Finn Russell.
Crouch.
Andy Warwick on the Ulster loose head side.
Bind. Set.
No near side flanker for Ulster. Came out a little bit awkwardly with Jackson looking inside him. Payne. Piatow. Oh, he's got away. It's extraordinary by Piatow. And he's still going as Pienaar just checked a little bit and lost his footing on this Plastic pitch, Jackson. Ayew got it away nicely. This is great stuff by Ulster. Louis Lurik gives the pass. Reedy gets it away. Ulster in the corner. And it's Darren Cave, on his first start of the season, I think has got the first try of this game.
Yeah, listen, hats off to Ulster. Fantastic play by them up the blind side, but it was dreadful defence by Glasgow there. A lot of missed tackles, and I'm sure Matty Taylor will not be happy with that, who's the Glasgow coach and the Scottish defensive coach. But lovely hands and beautifully finished. They're going to the video ref to make sure he's got it down and wasn't in touch, but I think he's fine. Maybe.
He slid over. That's a try.
Yeah, no, they've had all the pressure, and with 14 men, you know, Ulster have come here to play tonight, and they're playing fantastically well.
Well, it would be remiss of me not to mention a little bit late, but nonetheless sincere, how sorry we all were for Darren Cave and his dad and brother when he lost his wonderful mum Ruth a few weeks ago. A great Ulster rugby supporter, never was too far away from the Kingspan Stadium or indeed visiting games, and was there to support Darren every bit of the way. And her husband Brian did the most wonderful eulogy at the funeral, which was hugely well supported. So Ruth, you'll be proud of that. Jackson with the conversion. Didn't quite make it. However, looking for 14-man Ulster, a wee bit rosier now, having been denied a try and having lost a man. They're now leading here by 8 points to 0.
Yeah, they've dominated most of the game so far. You know, obviously even losing a man down to 14 men, they're still in control, and yeah, Glasgow have now got to get the ball back here. You know,
Russell to give his forward something to chase. That's another good restart kick. Franco van der Merwe in his third season with Ulster. Just won by the Springboks, and he's presented that nicely, and Glasgow driving over it, and they get the penalty. So what odds on Glasgow going for the corner, Craig?
14 right, side entry.
They might. I'm not sure. I think they might go. Yeah, I think they might go for the corner. Actually, looks like they're lining up to go to the corner here. Back the 15 men against 14, and with Henderson off. So it's a positive move by Glasgow, and let's see how they get on.
Well, Ulster will be kicking themselves, because the last thing you want to do when you've scored a try, and even though you missed the conversion, you don't want to give away a penalty with the prospect of conceding points thereafter.
No. Glasgow just far more aggressive at the breakdown there, and also just stood off it a little bit. So, yeah, it's a good turnover and great chance now for Glasgow to get some points on the board.
Fraser Brown with the throw, looking to pick out his man. He gets Ryan Wilson, and Glasgow driving for the corner. Ulster hoping to keep them out. Roger Wilson. Here come Glasgow again. They're trying to put a little bit of width on it. Now they go straight. Tommy Seymour against his old side. Pyrgos again just scoops it up, and Glasgow making ground. That's the 5-meter line, taken on by the enormous American Greg Peterson, or Peterson I should say. And still there, Olding trying to get his hands on the ball. Chance to move it wide now for Glasgow. A little bit of a check there by Russell himself. About 2 meters to go. Pyrgos, surely they have to score from here. Ulster trying hard, they're holding them up. Terrific defence by the men in white. Reedy gets himself up again. Well, Glasgow really have to score here, and they have scored here. They've got over from close range. And it looks as if it's Gordon Reid, the loose head prop, who's got over.
Yeah, it was good patience by Glasgow. They took the line out, and they got the desserts. They went for the try rather than go for the 3 points. And Gordon Reid has snuck over just his yardage, a couple of yards. And yeah, 5 points on the board for Glasgow, but yeah, just patience, looking after the ball, and yeah, a good 5 points, and they'll be delighted with that, because they've not been in the game so far.
Well, Pyrgos looked as if he was going to move the ball wide. That was a clever ploy by him, because he just distracted Ulster very slightly, and Reid from no distance whatsoever picked up and went over. And Ulster will rue the fact that they didn't really receive that kick-off terribly well.
Yeah, no, it's a coach killer. You know, kick off just after you've scored, to turn the ball over like that and give Glasgow a great field position. You know, there'll be a lot of talk about that in the half-time. They can't afford to do that. No team can.
Russell to make it a 1-point game, and very well struck indeed by the birthday boy. And there's Gordon Reid at 29, actually the oldest member of the Glasgow starting 15. Every single one of them is under 30 years of age.
Yeah, the young squad at Glasgow, and it's, you know, it just shows good things for the future. You know, just keep together and you know, hopefully keep improving.
Paddy Jackson. Ian Henderson back on the field for Ulster to a not unsurprising chorus of boos from the Glasgow faithful. Glasgow have done what Ulster couldn't do, and that's gather in the restart kick. And they'll hope to affect what's called these days the efficient exit strategy by getting the ball into touch. Pyrgos. And he finds his touch.
Yeah, good exit by Glasgow. Maybe not as far as they quite have liked, but you know, this will be a good opportunity now for Ulster to get back in the game, get the power game going, try and run down probably Finn Russell's channel, make him tackle, make him work, make him put his head into the contact, and yeah, they'll be testing him out at any opportunity they can get.
Good take by Ulster at the line out. Jackson, Olding. Gets no change out of the Glasgow mill field. A wee bit predictable there. Ball's left behind. Cave, the try scorer. Pienaar. Sean Reedy. Oh, he's managed to weave his way through, and a good bit of a shoulder charge there by Reedy. Ulster up to the Glasgow 22. There's a Glasgow player down injured. Ulster close to the touchline. Pienaar trying to open it up a little bit. Better chance now this for Ulster. Jackson into Alan O'Connor. Again it's Pienaar. Jackson, Louis Ludig off the wing. Straightens. Pienaar. Back inside cleverly. Good tackling there by Glasgow. Ayew swept it away. Not a great pass, still there for Ulster. Oh dear, this is hopeless by them. Down goes Stuart Olding, bravely and cleverly. High tackle around the collar, but the referee's happy enough now. Pienaar. And again it's clumsy stuff, but play on, says the referee. Jared Payne. Glasgow player making a real pest of himself there. Now it's Ayew. That's nicely away. Jackson, now Olding. Has to give it, and he does give it, but to nobody in particular. Well retrieved by Ludik. Piatau. Also just need to be patient. They're snatching at things a little bit. It's all a bit frantic.
Yeah,
Jackson, just to keep the lid on it. Now where's that going to bounce? So not in. Yes, it is. Clever kick by Jackson.
Yeah, look at Jackson. They're a bit untidy with both sides for a couple of minutes there. But just calmed down by Jackson, just sticking it in the corner, getting in behind there. But every time Charles Piatau gets the ball, he beats the first defender. He's got great feet, and the strength of his hips, the way he breaks the tackle, is very, very impressive. And I just hope, well, not me personally, but I think Glasgow will be hoping that he sees as little ball as possible tonight.
Okay.
At half-time it's Treviso 10, Dragons 8, and at the moment it's Leinster leading the Ospreys by 10 points to 0. Gregor Townsend will be worried that his enormous USA Eagle second row forward, Greg Peterson, seems to be injured. Born in Sydney, Australia. Here's Piatau trying to make a little bit of ground, and good tackling there by the young prop Xander Ferguson.
Yeah, a few youngsters in Glasgow team are getting stuck in. A few, you know, it's the first game tonight. You know, Xander Ferguson is just a young kid as well. He's got 1 or 2 Scottish caps, but he's still learning his trade. You know, especially for a prop, 20, 21 years old.
But to be capped for your country as a prop for 20 is sensational.
Yeah, there's not many.
Came off the bench at Twickenham to play against
exactly a massive task, and it was just a bit too much for him at first. But you know, he's maturing now. He's getting more and more experienced every game he plays, and yeah, he'll turn into a fantastic prop, and he'll be a stalwart for Scotland over the next few years. I'm not sure who's down. One of the Glasgow players has been injured over the far side there.
Yes, I thought it was Greg Peterson.
Can't quite see who it is.
No, neither can I. That looks to me like the former All Black Corey Flynn just down warming up. Late replacement on the bench for Pat McCarthy. Nobody quite knows what happened to Pat McCarthy, but Corey Flynn has been drafted into the bench, and this doesn't look wonderful.
I think
is that Fraser Brown? It's somebody with a set of whiskers.
Yeah, I think it is Fraser Brown. I think Pat MacArthur I think got injured in the warm-up, I think.
Yes. Well, there was Ulster at the very best. Great run by Charles Piatow, back up. And all it was a question of actually moving the ball. This was as good a try as Ulster have scored here in Scotland. And Darren Cave finished it off in the corner.
Yeah, it's definitely Fraser Brown. This is quite a bad one as well. So Corey Flynn, this will be his Pro 12 debut. Just not arrived that long ago from France, from Toulouse, I think it was.
Well, that's interesting because they've I presume they're going to put Chewy Ubanivi into the second row, and they may well play. Will they play Fraser Brown as a flanker? Don't know what they're doing. That certainly is Peterson going off, so they've replaced the second row forward with a hooker.
Yeah, Fraser Brown will go to the back row. He's played there quite a bit over the club rugby when he was a bit younger, and for Glasgow. And I think against Bath in the Champions Cup, he came on and played fantastically well at 7. So yeah, he's been there. He's been there in a few games.
Flynn gets the throw right, and it's taken by Uanivi, the Namibian international, who had such a productive World Cup last year for his country. Oh, he swung the elbow there at Alan O'Connor. Now, the touch judge on this side has kept the flag down, so he obviously didn't think it was that bad. Ulster counter-driving, but back to Pyrgos. Jared Payne. Louis Lullack. There's a hint of an overlap here. Cave gets it away to Olding. Trying to stand up and hold off Tommy Seymour. Pienaar in there quickly. Better stuff by Ulster. Jackson. Good drive by Henderson. Refreshed from the 10 minutes in the bin. Jackson again. Andy Warwick. Lovely soft pass to Alan O'Connor. Glasgow flying in. Well, the handling has not been all that terribly good. Have Ulster managed to retrieve it? They have. Now it's Henderson. Well shackled. He wasn't held. Down and up again. Makes good ground. Pienaar. Jackson. Payne. Stiff handoff by try scorer Darren Cave. Franco van der Merwe for Ulster, just being a little bit on the patient side, which is all they need to do. Switch by Pienaar. Olding steps inside. Pienaar again. Nudge forward by Ulster. Good patient stuff. Olding might have well have passed there, Craig. He had men outside him.
Yeah, he just got caught in 2 minds whether to give it or not. But I think Glasgow defensive coach Matt Taylor, you can hear in the background here just shouting at his players to get off the line, to get up quicker. I think he feels that they're giving them too much time to run at them, and Glasgow just falling off 1 or 2 tackles here and there. So yeah, I think that's something they're looking to improve on. But Ulster look in control. They look in control. They look good on the ball. And they're threatening. I mean, Piatow, I like Olding. I know he came off the bench tonight, but I like him as a player, and I think he's a real threat when he gets the ball in hand.
Sorry, I know he did last week. Okay.
Sandra Fagerson, born 20 years ago in Perth.
What I've got to decipher is whether he was or wasn't part of that.
Getting a little bit of treatment. Going to be a scrum to Glasgow. Let's see how Ulster get on. Now that Ian Henderson is back, if they can put any pressure on the Glasgow put in. While it's coming down, it's not terribly heavy, but it's consistent, isn't it?
It's it's not as bad as it was forecast. I don't think so. Yeah, it's not bad for Glasgow. Not as heavy as it normally is.
I've had some lovely days with Glasgow. I remember being here a couple of years ago for the Commonwealth Games. We didn't see a drop of rain the whole fortnight.
To be fair, yeah, I remember that week. It was 2 weeks. It was great weather. Yeah. And only a couple of weeks ago, the Leinster game was beautiful sunshine that day when they played Leinster. So, yeah.
So it's Corey Flynn, the 35-year-old, capped 15 times for the New Zealand All Blacks. No mean feat into his first scrum here.
Crouch.
Facing Irish international Rob Herring with, remember, Rory Best on the bench.
Set.
They can also get a squeeze on. Glasgow have dug in well, and then also get the secondary shove, but it's back in the Glasgow side. Russell has a little glance into a bit of space. What a clever kick, looking for the danger man hug. Well gathered by Jared Payne. Pienaar. And Hogg read that well, and Pienaar didn't quite make the contact. Ludic waits. That's bounced handily for Ulster's wing three-quarter, who's equally at home at full-back. And that's a good strike. And Ulster have repaid that with a bit of interest. We have got 15 minutes just under to go to the interval. And Glasgow just a pointed drift, 8-7 to Ulster.
Yeah, it was an ambitious little play by Finn Russell and Stuart Hogg out of their own sort of third. So yeah, one of these ones, if they come off and they bounce correctly, you could be scoring. But on that occasion, it didn't bounce correctly.
Let's speed this line up, please. Come on, in we come.
Lions tourist 3 years ago, and expect to be a Lions tourist next summer. Stuart Hogg didn't make the test side, but might be in pole position for that number 15 shirt. I'm sure the other people have ideas about that. Flynn just delaying that a wee bit. That's okay though, nothing wrong with that. Ryan Wilson at the front. Ulster closing Glasgow down and making life difficult. Ball back on the Glasgow side through Corey Flynn.
Knocked on into touch.
Knocked into touch, taken quickly by Ulster. It's a very unruined Pienaar pass. Nice combination, Payne and Pietau, but it's worked to Glasgow's advantage. Ryan Wilson up to the Ulster 10-metre line. This is better stuff now for Glasgow. And stolen by Ulster. Henderson. Almost lost it for a second. Now Pienaar, Jackson. They miss out Wilson. Olding gets it away. Cave, nice pass.
Not held.
Jared Payne, referee says he wasn't held, so he's allowed to progress. Pienaar, little pop-up. Rob Herring, the Ulster skipper. Better stuff again by the men in white. Olding, nice pass. Away well to Jared Payne. Ulster just building. Warwick at scrum half. Jackson taken on by Rodney Ayew. What a bruising, blundering run that is. Pienaar, Jackson. Back inside to the safety of his pack. Ulster playing pretty decent rugby at the moment. Franco van der Merwe into the Glasgow 22. Pienaar, Sean Reedy, looking more like the form of last season, which brought no fewer than 4 tries in the league. Pienaar again, Rodney Ayew. First season with Ulster after 4 with Connacht. Jackson, Olding, Jackson again, little chip kick through. Where's that going to go? Well covered by Glasgow and by Tommy Seymour. My word, he did so very well. The man born in Nashville, Tennessee. Young Lewis Wynn waiting in the scrum half position. Fergus might decide to take this on himself. Well, he's given it to his forwards to give him a better angle. Corey Flynn, all that experience, just gets the ball round. Glasgow protesting about Ulster being offside at that breakdown.
Let's use it!
Fraser Brown stands and waits. Fergus has been told to use it, and use it he does. And Glasgow have done well to get that one away with good Ulster pressure.
Yeah, great pressure by Ulster. Great pieces of play in there. You know, fantastic running by Rodney Ayew. You know, staying on his feet, pumping his legs, breaking tackles, just giving Ulster that go forward that Glasgow haven't really had so far.
He is a fair old size of a fella, isn't he? And he can shift too.
A big old unit, yeah. It's the legs, pumping the legs, big in tackles. Yeah, going too high. Glasgow, Gordon Reid went far too high, and he's down the ground, holding his head. You know, you've got to go low. Guy like that, you can't run without his legs, so you got to get him in the deck early.
Well, 3 Irish caps to his name, Rodney Ayew, against Argentina in 2014. And Glasgow are making a change. Alex Allen is coming on.
Well, that's what you get. Gordon Reid went high there and got knocked off, and he landed and banged his head in the ground, I think. And that was just basically from going high in the tackle. If he went low, he'd have been fine.
Well, one international prop for another Alex Allen, who got his only Scottish cap to date against the USA a couple of years ago as a replacement, is on. So Glasgow have had a lot of injury problems, particularly in the back row, have had to do a fair bit of reshuffling, which won't help, Craig.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys out injured at the moment, like Rob Harley, Fusaro.
And Mr. Strauss, good take by Ulster and a good drive by Ulster. This has been one of their best features of their campaign so far this season. Rob Herring, who scored 2 tries from close range, still hanging on. Referee's got the hand out for a penalty to Ulster. Just over 10 minutes to go to half-time, and Ulster still churning forward. It's a huge amount to ask of them. Can they get over from here? Somehow I doubt it. Here's Pienaar's emerged from nowhere. Jackson, Cave, got it away to Jared Payne, who's very well tackled by Mark Bennett. First time we've mentioned him this evening. As referee decided advantage is over. It's Henderson who loses his footing. Pienaar, IU.
Still playing advantage.
You may well have heard Ian Davis say he's still playing advantage. Now Pienaar, Olding. Sort of finding this pitch a little bit hard to cope with, actually. A lot of players are just skidding. I don't know what sort of studs you wear on a pitch like this, or do you wear studs? You can't just wear you can't just wear what we used to call gutties in the old days, can you?
No, you can't. I'm not sure what you wear. It's difficult. I think you can wear sort of short, sort of mouldy things, but you can see 1 or 2 guys are having trouble. The guys that change direction quickly.
I presume you mean things that are moulded as opposed to things that are mouldy.
Not mouldy, no. But here's the Ulster going for the corner. They're going for the 7 points here. They've turned down the 3 points at goal. So yeah, it's a positive move by Ulster here. And certainly they would deserve another try. And with the pressure they've had so far in this half, 8-7 isn't a fair reflection of how the game's gone.
Well, it's not going well for Glasgow in terms of replacement, because Chui Uanivi has had to leave the field, and Sam Thompson comes on to make his debut at just 22 years of age.
Just another
It's not helping at all. Leinster, incidentally, 17-0 up at home to the Ospreys. Now that is a hell of a statement from the men from the RDS.
No, great. It is. Ospreys have been going well this year, so Leinster a powerful side though. At the RDS, it's very, very difficult to beat.
Herring, Alan O'Connor with the take. Now can Ulster do what they've done a number of times this season? The Glasgow player on the ground, and he must make an effort to get away, otherwise he'll be deemed to be obstructing. It's Johnny Gray, the skipper, where they leave it for Pienaar, and they change their mind, and they're over the line. I think that's going to be a try. They're going to have to go upstairs, but it may well be Rob Herring gets his 3rd try of the season from a driving ball.
Yes, Ian.
This would just be what Ulster wanted before the interval.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, good, looks a good try. You saw Rodney Ayew just dragging him forward there. I don't think he's obstructing anybody. Tackled there.
Okay. Gareth, what I
He's
want to
allowed
see
to
is
stretch, nothing wrong with that.
on the actual open side is prevented to get to the ball carrier.
Try, no
Yes,
problem
okay.
at all. But you see the strength and the help he gets over there. Rodney Ayew's dragging him along there,
Nine
helping
Black
him.
is
A
unable
bit
to
like
get
the
the ball
Brownlee
carrier
brothers
due to the players in front
in the Olympics. But no, it's nothing more than they deserve. They played fantastically well first half, and some of it with 10 minutes of it with 14 men. I've been very impressed with Ian Henderson as well when he's been on. He's a very powerful man, very, very powerful man.
Well, there was a great piece of driving. Now, Rob Herring was bound to Rodney Ayew. I think Glasgow might say there was a bit of dragging there, but he was tackled. He's allowed to stretch. He did stretch. He's got the ball down.
Okay, Ian, you see that?
What's the decision going to be?
Gareth, hey, Johnny, thank you very much. Back you go.
It's Johnny Gray's coming to put his tuppence worth in, and Ian Davis has told him to go away. And they're having a chat with the TMO, Gareth Simmons. Now, why is that?
Yes.
I think Johnny Gray is what they're trying to do. They're trying to influence.
It's clearly in front of the ball carrier. What I need to establish is whether actually he impedes play or any defenders. It's the player who's behind the player who impedes 9. Therefore, he's not technically causing an obstruction.
Yeah, I believe there's no obstruction there. He's in front of it, but he doesn't seem to block the tackle.
It is a bit. I think it'd be a harsh one. I can see what he's saying about.
This could be a second disallowed try for Ulster.
About being in front, he may be slightly in front. But I don't think it's really obstructing anybody. So I think it'd be a real harsh one.
Here it is again. As IU went, and there's Henderson. I don't think anybody's been obstructed because the Glasgow players actually came in from the side. Nobody was being obstructed there, certainly from where I'm sitting.
I think 3 there does actually impede the ability of 9 to get to the ball carrier in the first instance.
Oh, that's a lot of nonsense, to be quite honest. Ian Davis saying that 3's impeding 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hard. I don't think so. I think that's a tough call. A real tough call in Ulster there. You know, 2 tries been disallowed now. It's a penalty. You know, listen, Ulster have been on top the whole game virtually, and they'll, well, it'll either make them work even harder, or it could mentally hurt them a little bit. But to have 2 tries disallowed like that is pretty devastating.
Well, Les Kiss would be absolutely seething.
That was harsh. That was very harsh.
Finn Russell, as half-time approaches, gets the chance to clear the lines for Glasgow. Glasgow with a huge number of injury problems, and they've had to replace 3 players so far. And it's going to be, because it's a penalty, it's going to be a Glasgow line-out as well.
Yeah, the thing was, if Pygos didn't even try and tackle, never even tried to tackle the ball carrier.
No. And it wasn't 3, if anything, it was actually Henderson. But they were driving forward, and Pyrgos came in from the side. He didn't make an attempt to tackle the man with the ball. But here come Ulster again. Desperate to get something before half-time. Olding has a real good dart. Pienaar. Well, that's the story of Ulster's half. It's could have been a 20-point lead at this stage. Pyrgos, I'm sure, will want to get this away. And he has got it away, and he has found his touch. And Charles Pietau done me to take the quick throw, but changed his mind.
Yeah, good clearance by Glasgow, but they're living on the edge here. That, you know, as you said before, they could be quite easily be 20 points down at this moment in time, and Glasgow would be delighted to go in at half-time, just 1 point down.
Well, we have about 7 minutes remaining. What a score from Dublin, though. 17-0 to Leinster. Back on the Ulster side, albeit a bit untidily. Pulled in on the ground and then lost. That's good counter-rucking by the home side. It would be just Ulster's bad luck if Glasgow could sneak something by the interval. And let's face it, they certainly will try. Corey Flynn gets across the 10-metre line. Pyrgos gets it away to Russell. Big tackle. But up and down again by the Italian international Leonardo Sartor. Here's Pyrgos. Wee bit of urgency now in Glasgow's play. Lewis Wynn, the young flanker, only 19 years of age, sets it up. Russell again.
Come back and see if there's any foul play there from White in midfield.
Well, they're looking to see if there's any foul play by Ulster. It's not Ulster's night in terms of the officials. Penalty there.
Gareth?
Yes, Ian.
I was originally coming back for the penalty here against White, who clearly playing the ball with his feet on the floor.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to see the tackle off the ball on Black, please.
Right.
We're going to have a look at an Ulster tackle there to see if there's anything illegal about it. Do you know something? I think they should give everybody carpet slippers and Wednesday at 90s. This game's becoming too soft.
I totally agree. I think the first yellow card with Henderson as well. You know, there wasn't a lot in that. But they're going for a lot. You know, they're going for absolutely anything now, and there didn't seem very much there either. We'll have a look now. We'll see it on the replay, but. No, I think things are getting a bit soft. You can't do anything. And you know, we want a clean game. We want a clean and fair game. But we can't be stopping for every little infringement and every little push and shove.
I've got to say, I don't think Ian Davis is having a particularly good game this evening. Ulster will certainly concede the penalty for hands on the floor at the ruck on the near side. But they're going to have a look to see if there's any infringement by an Ulster player at a tackle, to see if there's anything illegal about it, whether somebody was lifted off the ground and dumped again. Certainly Ulster have dominated this first half completely.
They have, and it's all about taking your chances. They've got the Glasgow coaches Gregor and Matty Taylor there, obviously not happy with something. But
half-time at the RDS, I beg your pardon, Craig, and Leinster 24-0 up against the Ospreys. And the Ospreys, who've got a points difference of 100 and something, and this is Alan Wynne-Jones's 200th appearance for the Ospreys, and they seem to be getting a tanking.
Yeah.
Well, Glasgow now with 6 minutes to go to the interval. Finn Russell has taken the old helmet off.
I think
that was a bad kick. Pienaar, Ulster got away with that one. And from a bad kick to an astonishing kick by Pienaar. Yeah, well, an astonishing kick. Glasgow take it quickly, however. Hogg moves it wide. Tommy Seymour into Sean Reedy. Also, we'll be looking to affect the turnover because they really need to get more points by the interval. Got a bit of width on it by Glasgow. Well covered by Jared Payne. Saw a man outside him, but he saw that the tackle was about to be. That's not the first time this game that Ruan Pienaar's had the kick charge down, but they've got away with it again. Jackson. And he goes for position. It's not going to bounce dead. Taken on by the Glasgow number 8, Ryan Wilson, covering like a good back row forward should in those circumstances. Pyrgos. Glasgow under an awful lot of pressure in this first half, and yet Ulster are just a single point ahead. Two very controversial decisions to rule out what a lot of people felt were perfectly good Ulster tries. Pyrgos for the touchline. Jackson with the gather. Does well, Jackson. Knocked into touch, I think, by a Glasgow hand, and that should be an Ulster line out.
Not gone into touch. Not gone into touch.
Ulster will get the option of the line out or the scrummage. I think they'll probably go for the line out, Craig, for the quick ball.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good option. It's a good law as well to have, I think, to get the option. But just go back to that incident at the penalty. I think the Glasgow coaches have definitely seen some kind of foul play, because they were irate in their little box here. They were going crazy at the referee for something that happened. So there might be some repercussions after the match. So
not as crazy as Les Kiss is going, I'm pretty sure, about some of the decisions here, but we'll worry about that as and when. It'll be an interesting talking point for the chaps at half-time. Good take by O'Connor. Paddy Jackson. Olding. Very nearly through. Quick release by the men in white. Now Henderson. Good soft hands there. Piatow had to stretch. Wasn't the greatest pass. Pienaar covered back. Laid it behind him. Knocked forward by Glasgow, who complained that a Glasgow player might have been taken out off the ball. Ferocious rucking there by Ulster. They need a scrum half, but they leave it to the real scrum half, Ruan Pienaar. Andy Warwick. Also going to make sure they get this one away. Pienaar. Away to Piatow, and Piatow's got away. He's got Cave with him. Well, he is like Quicksilver. Pienaar, Jackson, Olding. They have men outside him. That's well done. Good transfer. Louis Ludick has a real goal. Tackled by the covering Fraser Brown, now deputising in the back row. Ulster must try to get something by the interval. Jackson. Nicely done. Here goes Andrew Warwick. Looking for a second league try. That's good ground by the loose head prop. Pienaar again. Jackson. Nicely done. Van der Merwe. Piatow. Rode the tackle. And just put his knee in touch, and it's going to be a Glasgow lineup. Well, it's been a terrific first half by Ulster. And despite all the controversy, you've still got to give Glasgow full marks for their defence.
Yeah, good scrambling defence there, and the referee's having a look at the Glasgow defender using the arms there. He just dived in with his shoulders. But Glasgow getting so close again. Ulster getting so close again to the line, just not being able to finish it off. And these chances that they've had, they might rue at the end of the day.
Well, was that as Hogg went in there, and was it? That's a no arms tackle. That's going to be a penalty. It might even be a yellow. I mean, if he's going to do what he's been doing all the way through, that has to be a yellow card.
Yeah, it's another one. There's another one on the line. It's one of these ones that he might give, he might not give. With Ulster's luck at the moment, he'll probably not give it.
But he'll probably give a penalty against Ulster. Not that we're biased up here, are we?
Well, no, not at all, not at all. But no, it's listen. Every time that, that
for me, it's 14 blue, is it? He's unopposed running in.
The way he's dived in there and
taking
him up in the air.
Let's hear what's being said.
Yellow card, 14 blue and a penalty try.
Yes.
Okay. 14.
That's going to be a yellow card, and I think it's going to be a penalty try. My word. Well, Ulster have got a wee bit of luck. I'm not sure I would agree with the penalty a try. Yes, the penalty. Yes, the yellow card against Leonardo Sarto. But the penalty try has gone Ulster's way, so Ulster maybe justice has been done at the end of this first half, Craig.
Well, yeah, so even this up a little bit, but it's nothing more than what Ulster deserve. They deserve to be more than 1 point ahead of half time. and the pressure they've had, the way they've played, you know, the line breaks they've had, you know, the two props running at defences, breaking up defences. Yeah, listen, I probably wouldn't have given a penalty try there. Maybe a penalty, maybe a yellow card, but certainly not a penalty try.
Well, you take what you're given, don't you? And Jackson has added the extras, and just before half-time, as Ulster have been threatening to do, they've actually managed to get a second score, and they're now leading Glasgow by 15 points to 7, and probably unbalanced despite the controversy. That's a pretty fair scoreline.
Yeah, unbalanced it probably is, and this is a big kick-off now for Ulster to receive this and just get it back down the pitch and get the game back down into Glasgow's half, because Glasgow's only points in the half so far have come from a poor kick-off reception by Ulster.
Well, the question is, would the try have been scored had it not been for the offence? I'm not altogether sure it would have been, to be quite honest, but certainly an illegal tackle, certainly a yellow card, penalty try. I've got to wear my Glaswegian hat on this one, and I've been eating curries in this fine city for the best part of half a century. Well, what a shambles that was again by Ulster at the restart, but they managed to get it at the second attempt. Into the final minute of this game, Ulster just have to keep possession.
Tackle!
Rob Herring, the skipper, sets it up. Pienaar. Roger Wilson, Ulster's most capped players, 210th appearance this evening for his province. Just a few seconds remaining. One more little set piece perhaps. Pienaar looking for a runner, gets it in the not inconsiderable form of Rodney Ayew. Now we've got a 40, and surely this must be put out. Rob Herring on a little arcing run on Pienaar to his partner Paddy Jackson, and Jackson, who added the conversion of the penalty try, pops it into touch. Well, the crowd not at all happy with the penalty try, but visiting Ulster supporters and the Ulster management will not be at all happy having two tries disallowed. Nevertheless, on balance of things, Ulster will be by far the happier outfit as they go into the shed, as they said, down under. Interesting to hear the thoughts of the boys in the studio at half-time here at Scotstoun, where the rain is just about gone. It's Glasgow 7 and Ulster 15.
Well, what an incident-packed game. Certainly lots for Stephen Ferris and Ryan Constable to get their teeth stuck into. Ulster deservedly in front, Stephen?
Oh, brilliant first half. I think it was a little bit stop-start in patches, but Ulster thoroughly deserve their half-time lead. They've been playing some great stuff. A little bit passive in defence, which will probably be talked about at half-time, but, you know, 2 tries, 2 disallowed. We should be sitting here potentially with a bonus point already, but a lot that they can take into the second half with, and really excited about it.
Let's get stuck into the analysis straight away, Ryan. I mean, Ulster thought they had scored early on, and then the try disallowed for that yellow card. What's your take on all of this?
Yeah, well, they definitely used that weight of possession they had early to create this try-scoring opportunity, and there's no doubt the try was well taken. Excellent line from Jared Payne. Hasn't played for a while, but just seamlessly slots into that perfect line. And nothing wrong with that. It was the lead up to the try and an incident that came earlier off the ball that created the disallowed try.
Oh, it's just a bit ill-discipline from Ulster, and you know, Ian Henderson just maybe a little bit aggressive there. But for me, you know, 2 years ago that wouldn't even brought back. It's just him kind of imposing himself on the game. It's probably the right call by the letter of the law, and Ian should know better. So it was probably the right decision, probably the only right decision. I agree with the referee in the first half, but we'll leave that at that, Stephen.
We'll discuss a few more of the referee's decisions with you in a moment. I mean, what is the exact ruling there, Ryan? Why was Ian yellow carded?
Well, his legs have been lifted above the horizontal and he hasn't been placed back on the ground. He's been dropped with no attention given to it. So by the letter of the law, the referees applied it, and yellow card is the right outcome. But it certainly cost Ulster. They had huge possession and territory early on. They didn't have the points to show for it as a result of that. But the pleasing thing is they didn't let that throw them. They got back into their rhythm, got back into the routine, playing high-tempo rugby, and we saw tries result from it.
Charles Piatai, we'll probably be talking about him every week. I mean, his influence on that first half, 2 outrageous breaks, the second one leading to a score.
He gets the ball and you think he's going to get closed down, and that's Stuart Hogg. He's just left for dead there, and he's chasing his own kick. A little bit unfortunate. The Glasgow player's hand just impedes his vision there, but look at that there for a step. It's almost like a goose step, and away he goes, and he's paced the burn, and he gets himself out of tricky situations just by his sheer pace. You just look here, bang, and he's away, and leaving players for dead. And these are Scottish internationals that he's leaving for dead, and it just shows how good a player he is.
And Ryan, the execution of the try in difficult handling conditions was superb after that.
Yeah, and you look at it, you've got second rows, tight head props, catching and passing in the same motion, drawing the last defender, and then Cave using all of his experience. There's no right to beat this defender. He's got a metre either side of him. He's beaten two blokes, stepped another one, and then a perfectly timed pass. The lead-up was exceptional, but it was the execution by forwards running at pace and realising what was in front of them. And Darren Cave, excellent slide in for the try, perfect timing.
A lot of people this week were talking about why Charles Piutau was playing on the wing. He has a lot more influence in the game, maybe come from full back. But we've seen Jared Payne here tonight, coming back with pace. But when there's a half gap and Piutau's given that ball on the wing, he's just got so much pace. He's amazing to watch.
If that execution was excellent, from the restart, Ulster weren't quite as accurate, and that's what led to the Glasgow try at the end of the day.
Yeah, when you score points, what you want to do immediately is get that exit right. And from the kick-off, they receive the ball, but it's the work that's done at the breakdown which we said would be crucial in determining the outcome of that game. That counter-rucking creates the opportunity, they get the penalty, and it's from that platform that they go on from. So what you want there is a clean exit and clear the ball.
It was a little too easy for Glasgow, wasn't it? It looked that way.
It was, and on that kick-off you could see the Ulster lads sort of crabbing over the ball instead of getting past the ball, which is what the Glasgow players were doing. Big Johnny Gray coming in and blasting guys out of the way, and that just turned the momentum slightly. But it was a bit of an easy one, an old Tongawiya one from a metre out. They'll be disappointed. Just you can see Rob Herring there standing at 10, just doesn't give it enough attention, and he gets over. But at the same time, they regathered, went underneath the sticks, said, right, let's get back up that end of the pitch, and that's what they done.
Okay, Ulster thought they'd scored another try. What is your take on this one? Referee and obviously the video referee said no.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one, and I think the key distinction is whether this group of three players detach from that original maul, because if they do and there's no contact, then the defensive player has been obstructed of getting to the ball carrier. It's irrelevant whether he actually could have stopped the try, because I don't think he could. By the time he reacted, Rob Herring would have been over the try line. But on the letter of the law, again, a defensive player has been obstructed from getting to the ball carrier, so you can understand the ruling. And fortunately for Ulster, a couple have gone against them. We see one later where maybe they did get the rub of the green, so probably balanced itself out.
Do you agree, Stephen?
I can understand where Ryan's coming from, but I disagree, because when you're playing rugby and you practice a technique called the latch. So when the ball carrier's taking the ball into contact, you're getting the guy and you're almost dragging him over the line. And that's exactly what Rodney Ayew done there. So
no problem for you that he was in front of the ball carrier?
Well, he was in front, but he was just dragging him over. Like when you're talking in front, a foot in front, but he was going to get there anyway. And for such a good play, I feel that should have been rewarded.
Rodney Ayew penalised there, but this is one that you thoroughly enjoyed seeing, a big rumbling break down the middle of the field by Ayew.
Yeah, he comes with a bit of weight behind him, doesn't he? He carries the ball very well. And in fairness, he scrummaged well also tonight, and I like to see the ball in his hands more in the second half. He's a hard man to stop, as Gordon Reid found out.
If the referee disallowed that last try for Ulster, was the one just before half-time really a penalty try, do you think?
Well, again, they've gone upstairs, they've taken their time. It comes from an excellent break in the midfield, and then, debatable. He goes in a very awkward angle to affect the tackle, gets his head in the wrong place. Charles Piutau claims it already. He did try and get a little bit of his foot. Would he have actually gone over and scored that try? They took their time working out that decision. There's a cover defender coming across, but Ulster have got some, they haven't got some. On the balance, I think you'd say they're probably deserving of their lead.
Yeah, and I totally agree with Ryan. I think that's a pretty silly challenge there. He kind of gave the charge, got up straight away and thought it was a no arms tackle. He was sort of complaining to the touch judge, and I totally agree with Ryan on the balance of play. It sort of evens it up, and Ulster deservedly a few points ahead at half-time mark.
Jared Payne back into the Ulster starting lineup tonight, and he's made a big impact, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he can play multiple positions, but it's just his rugby now, it's his timing. Great footwork there, strong in the tackle, and that ability to offload. We'll see him take these lines, is what he does so well. He's able to pick lines off attackers. He seems to be in the right place at the right time, and he's got all those core basic skills that you expect from a player that's come through that New Zealand system.
Yeah, we did get caught short on the short side, and there was a chip put in, and Jared came a full tilt and caught it just a couple of inches off the ground. And people don't understand that that's a very difficult skill to master, especially on a wet pitch, wet slippery surface. And a few of the boys have been slipping about tonight, and he caught it and he gets the boys out of trouble. So not just attacking, but he's also defensively very, very solid.
OK, thank you both for the moment. Now, Ulster have always had a special connection with South Africa. Many Springboks have flocked to Northern Ireland not just to play, but settle here. And two of the current South Africans are putting down roots here. Franco van der Merwe is starting a family, and Robbie Diak a new business.
Wonderfully well done, and it's Franco van der Merwe. Diak, the captain, he's got the third try. What a moment from Robbie Diak.
It's been open for 6 months or so, and it's been a huge learning curve, and so far it's been a success. And obviously we all know that rugby is a limited career, and you never know when your career could end. And I think obviously I've got a family as well to support post my rugby career, and I think getting a foot in the door before your career ends is an important step to take. And I'm fortunate enough to have taken that step and to be involved in something like this. Ulster and IRFU and Arupa are striving towards setting players up, which is brilliant. And I think they're targeting the youngsters, and they're targeting guys our age as well, to make sure that we don't take a big fall when our careers end.
Franco van der Merwe thunders for the line, looking for a third league try. He's got over the line, the big fella.
When you come to a certain age in your career, where I'm probably now at, you look at opportunities like this, and to get involved in business, or just something outside of rugby is really something I would love to do. Yeah.
Diak's going to steal a try. Yes, he is.
I signed my first 3-year contract, and I never thought that I'd stay here for 9 years. Just the way the club has progressed, and with regards to recruitment, the gym facilities, the training facilities, the stadium itself.
My wife and I settled in quite nicely, and we look forward to having our first child in a couple of weeks. So like a lot of our friends already got babies and little kids, and they've been giving us all the tips and what to do and what not to do.
We also got given advice, but the only way you learn is to do it yourself. And I think in a couple of weeks' time he'll learn that, and I think he'll have to cope with a little bit of less sleep. We'll see how training is an early Monday morning with 5 hours of sleep. But no, I'm sure they'll be fantastic parents, and to bring a child up in Northern Ireland is brilliant. You come over to Northern Ireland and you're part of Belfast, and you realise how passionate the people are over here, and how passionate they are to support Ulster, and how passionate the locals are to represent Ulster. And for us to be part of that is something special.
The South Africans that come here really enjoy their time here. The way Bryn and before him, David Humphreys, they did the recruitment. I think they really look at the South African players as hard workers and as passionate players.
I'll never claim to be Northern Irish, but I'll claim to be an Ulsterman, and I'll claim to have represented a club that's very proud in its traditions. And for me to have represented Ulster for this amount of years and for this amount of games is something that I'll always cherish and I'll always be proud of.
Two proud Ulstermen hoping that their team can beat Glasgow tonight. They're leading by 15 points to 7. Time for the second half. Let's rejoin Craig and Jim.
It's still drizzling pretty heavily here, but from an Ulster perspective, it's not a bad-looking situation. There's the man who's in the bin for the Glasgow Warriors, Leonardo Sarto, capped 30 times for Italy. And it's Glasgow who are trailing by 7 points to 15 to get the second half underway. Finn Russell has come through the first half, and he's taken the old head protector off. Hasn't quite caused the mayhem that he has done before, but we've 40 minutes for him to regain the sort of form. Big step in since he got badly injured in Galway at the end of last season. Russell to start the second half, and underneath it the inevitable Roger Wilson. Pienaar with a foot inside his half, or his 22 I should say, and he's wheeked that in the field a wee bit. Russell spills it, one on the ground by Franco van der Merwe. IU at scrum half. Alan O'Connor. Olding gets it away quickly to Cave. Good dummy by Cave, and just held on. Pienaar in quickly. O'Connor makes good ground, tackled well by the Glasgow replacement, young master Thompson. Here's Henderson. He's smarting after getting himself binned for 10 minutes. Jackson. Jared Payne. Glasgow's first up, tackling pretty ferocious. Payne, van der Merwe. And again, Glasgow not allowing the Ulster ball carrier to make any ground. Good tackle there by Fraser Brown. Olding changes direction. Ludick, just put it in front of Roger Wilson, who couldn't hold it at the stretch. And the referee playing advantage, and Glasgow have got the ball back, which is not what Ulster wanted. And a huge hole has suddenly appeared. That was well taken on by Ryan Wilson. Pergos going for another little hole. And that's what you get, Craig, when you give the ball away.
That's it, yeah. I mean, giving the ball away twice, Ulster gave it away, giving it back to Glasgow. And it's just, ball's just too slow for Glasgow. They can't get quick ball. I've not even heard Mark Bennett's name mentioned in the first half. He's got to get the ball into his hands and try and create some space on the outside.
Bennett, of course, a silver medalist at the Olympic Games for Great Britain in the sevens. Ferocious tackle there by Sean Reedy. First score of this second half is going to be absolutely crucial. Piatal going for the intercept, didn't quite make it. Well set up by Glasgow. There's a wee bit more urgency about them. Xander Fagerson takes it forward into the Ulster half. Russell. All the way back goes Piatal. In a bit of trouble now. The rain really is coming down. Well covered back by Ulster, and a good touch find, but it's going to be a Glasgow ball. So Ulster just settled a wee bit. With signs there that Glasgow have just upped the pace.
Yeah, a little error at the start there by Finn Russell from the kick-off, but they got the ball back, and the ball's just too slow for Glasgow. They can't get any quick ball, they can't get any space in the outside channels, and Ulster defence is rock solid. A big white line, and there's really no way through at the moment.
Corey Flynn, the New Zealand All Blacks, drafted into the squad at the very last minute, drives the ball back quickly on the Glasgow side. Russell needs someone in the middle of the park to take it on. Oh, that's good work by Fraser Brown. There's better stuff from Glasgow. Now starting to play a little bit of heads-up rugby. Hogg steps inside Ludick, which is rare. Darren Cave, score of Ulster's first try, has to make the tackle. Here comes Glasgow again. That was a strong thump there by Ulster, and again by Cave. Russell. Corey Flynn just driving through the middle. Met head on by Henderson. Pergos gets it away. Johnny Gray playing the captain's role in Ulster's 22, and it was just nudged forward there by Glasgow. It might have been a bit of an accidental offside, but either way, Ulster will be pretty relieved, I'm sure, Craig, to get the put into the first scrum of the second half.
Yeah, they will be, but at the moment Glasgow just can't handle the pace and the line speed that Ulster are putting on them, and they can't get the ball through their hands. Normally Glasgow are very creative. That, they make space and create space for wingers, fullbacks. Stuart Hogg. These guys are just not getting into the game at the moment because they're getting suffocated by this white blanket that's coming over them.
Johnny Gray, only still 22 years of age, and now with 25 Scottish caps. There's a man with 88 South African caps, who was instrumental in forcing that scrum because he tried to strip the ball out of Gray's hands, and the Glasgow skipper knocked it on. Rodney Ayew on the Ulster tight head side. Referees let that one go. Pienaar on the narrow side, looking to put a bit of width in this. Olding. Taken on by Darren Cave. Henderson managed to get it back. Knocked forward by Ulster. Well, the handling's starting to deteriorate a little bit as the rain comes down and makes things even slippier.
Yeah, just a bit slippy out there, but you know, great tackle there by Fraser Brown. It was a double tackle there. I think Ryan Wilson as well in on that one there. But I love watching Pienaar play. He's such a clever player, always with his head up, looking, and you know, it just fills the space.
You played with a few pretty good scrum halves in your day, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and he's a typical South African scrum half. But you know, Gary Armstrong, Robert Jones, yeah, some fantastic scrum halves.
I remember Gary Armstrong winning a game against Ireland at Lansdowne Road all on his own in a filthy day. Took the whole Irish pack on time after time, the wee rascal.
He's a strong man.
Set.
Henry Pergos. Decent Glasgow scrum. That's a good squeeze by Ulster at the death. Now Glasgow in a bit of trouble, but Pergos gets it away. Down and up again, not held. Good strength by Alex Dunbar. That's an inspirational piece of play. Ulster foot came through as Roger Wilson won that on the ground. I think he has, you know. Pienaar gets it away. Oh, it's good stuff by Ulster. Away goes Paddy Jackson. Nice turn of pace by Ulster's outside half. Here goes Jackson. He might go all the way. What a try. Oh, dislodged at the death. And Jackson was in for a 7-pointer.
Jeez, what a run by Jackson. Great run, great skills. He just had to dive. He just went to deck a little bit earlier. He just slid in there. He may have burnt his knees a little bit in the new surface. He wouldn't have cared. It wouldn't have mattered. But wait, what a save at the back there. What a scramble. I think it was it Stuart Hogg?
Okay. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear what why there's any debate about this. What exactly happened that not for the first time Ian Davis needs to go upstairs or not upstairs, out to the trucks to his TMO and fellow Welshman Gareth Simmons. Was there an infringement there?
I think it was a strip. It might be a 5-metre scrum to.
Well, there was a foot came through there, which may well have been, which is a penalty actually. That should have been a penalty against Pienaar for putting the foot in there. Now here's Jackson. It was a wonderful piece of skill by Jackson.
Yeah, let's just check it.
A little bit of a check, and then he put the foot in the gas,
good
and then he did another sidestep, and he was well on his way to the line, and who came across? He was shoved in the back.
It was Seymour.
Okay, it's offside from 8. In regathering the ball, therefore it's a penalty back here.
So they're going all the way back for the penalty against Roger Wilson. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Certainly.
Ulster must think it might not be their night, Craig. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're spot on that. Glasgow getting all the big calls tonight. Okay, the one before half-time, the penalty try, maybe a bit dubious, but all the big calls. I thought that was okay, actually. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. I thought the ball was out.
Well, the ball came back on the Glasgow side, and Roger Wilson, it seemed, hadn't retreated behind the rear foot. And Glasgow have decided to kick the post to cut the deficit to just 5 points. Sensible option?
Yeah, definitely a sensible option. You get within a score. Get back in the game, get on the scoreboard, get a bit of confidence back. But yeah, no luck is going Ulster's way tonight, but there's a long way to go, and you know, if they keep playing the way they have been playing, I've no doubt that they'll get a few more points on the board.
Well, everybody in Glasgow will be keeping fingers and toes crossed that this fellow Finn Russell can get a few more points. In fact, 3 points here for Glasgow. Another Ulster try that didn't materialise. And all for infringements. Russell, nice solid sounding strike. Oh, he swept that in deliciously. Glasgow up to 10 points. The gap closes to 5. We played 7 minutes. 15-10 to Ulster. And on comes for his first appearance of the season is the current Irish skipper Rory Best. But Finn Russell struck that very nicely. This is Jackson again. He really showed to the opposition just about a clean pair of heels. Shoving the back there, nothing wrong with that. But the infringement was given.
Yeah, he's punched the ball out, but went all the way back.
Ulster very nearly getting in on the act there, but Glasgow much better at receiving the restarts. And Ulster have given away a penalty. I just have this little feeling that it's one of those nights that Ulster are just not going to win this game. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think listen, they've been unlucky so far. I think very, very unlucky. The referee is certainly going against them, but you know, it usually evens out over the 80 minutes, and I'm sure they'll they'll have their time.
And Russell kicks quite splendidly, and there is Rory Best, winning his 185th Ulster cap, capped 97 times for Ireland now.
Yeah. But Sartor's not come back on. They brought Rory Hughes on the wing. Sartor's had a pretty poor night tonight against Charles Piutau. So I think a good move by Gregor to get Rory Hughes, who's a very physical winger.
Ball pulled into the back of the line out there, but it wasn't quite right. Knocked on by Glasgow, and despite the efforts in the back row of young Lewis Wynn, it's going to be an Ulster scrum. 9 minutes played in the second half, and
on the line.
Ulster 15-7 up at the interval. Penalty try, and a try by Darren Cave. There's Rory Hughes, 23 years of age, capped once for Scotland against Italy in 2015.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
In the middle of that Ulster front row is Rory Best. Down they go on the near side. Mr. Ayu's got to be careful.
You see the wingers have changed wings.
Tommy Seymour's gone to the right.
He's gone to the right wing just to try and you know, stop Charles Piutau, which is a good move, I think. Good move, but I'm not sure if he'll have much luck.
Well, Ulster have to get that possession. Almost 10 minutes gone in the second half. Ulster've never won on this ground, remember?
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Watch to the modern rugby jersey to bind on. Good squeeze by Glasgow, but Ulster win it. Jackson. Well, Glasgow up very quickly indeed. Oh, Dunbar right in Olding's face. Jackson. Strong young man. Pienaar. Roger Wilson. Pienaar changes direction. Olding. That's bouncing handily enough for Stuart Hogg. He mustn't be allowed to run from an Ulster perspective. Sean Reedy's got him by the ankles. Alex Allen makes ground.
Okay.
He's blown the whistle. I think it's because somebody's down injured. It's an Ulster player who's down injured. It's running. Is it Roger Wilson? I can't quite see. No, it's not. A Stuart Olding.
I've been impressed with Stuart Olding tonight. He's come on. He's very sharp. Makes good decisions. He can kick as well. You know, some intelligent little kicks over the top. And Paddy Jackson as well. Paddy Jackson tonight has looked very. He's maturing year by year. He's becoming a better player, and I think I sort of compared him to David Humphreys. You know, he got better and better every year, and I think he's going to mature into a fantastic international player in a few years' time.
Well, a couple of updated scores for you. Leinster leading the Ospreys by 31 points to 5 in Dublin. And on Treviso, the home side 27-11 up against the Newport Gwent Dragons. The Tongan international Sila Puafisi has come on to play tight head prop for the Glasgow Warriors. Stuart Olding is up at his feet, but is he going to be able to continue? And I don't think he is. So Ulster have lost both Stuart McCloskey and Stuart Olding, which means that Rob Little will have to come on, and they'll probably move. Well, they could well move Charles Piutau in at the centre or play Louis Ludick in the centre, and the young man coming on will be Robert Little. Well, how very unfortunate for Stuart Olding. It doesn't look desperately bad. I hope it's not like a groin tear or something. Remember, he came back from 2 major anterior cruciate ligament damage. He had 2 bits of major surgery, which really kept him out of rugby for the best part of a couple of seasons.
Yeah, I hope it's not too bad. I mean, you know, quality young player, and certainly we wish him all the best. Hope he's back playing shortly, but you know, I think it'll give you know, young Rob Little a chance to see what he can do. I'm sure he's an impressive young man.
Yes, and it is Charles Piatow who's gone to outside centre, with Darren Cave moving inside, and Rob Little's going to play on the right wing.
I think it's Ludwig's gone to
outside centre.
Yeah.
Glasgow scrummage. 11 minutes gone in the second half. Only 5 points between them. Ulster would settle for that. Here's Pergos, may have to kick, and he does. That's gone loose. Ulster trying to bundle Glasgow into touch, and they've managed it, and that should give Ulster the line out. Well, Ulster really need to be thinking about scoring pretty soon, Craig, just to keep up the pressure on this Glasgow side.
No, they do. They've had a lot of, obviously a lot of disruptions with injuries as well. So, but they've looked the most fluent team. Glasgow have just not looked fluid tonight at all. They look very disjointed. Their back three, which are the real threat, with Hogg and Seymour, have not had the ball in space yet at all. But the one chance they had, they scored off.
Best to Alan O'Connor. Ulster's line-out has been pretty good all evening. Best in at the back. Glasgow trying to disrupt their progress. That's aggressive stuff. Ruan Pienaar saying the aggressive Glasgow forward was offside. Here is Pienaar. Piatow, oh, well met. Nicely away by Ulster. Jackson. Not finding any way through this time. Great work by Glasgow, but they've given away the penalty, and the penalty was given away by Sam Thompson coming in from the side.
Yeah, a little bit inexperienced there by young Sam Thompson coming inside there, giving away a cheap penalty. I think Ulster here will go for the corner again. It's a long way out, so I think Paddy Jackson will stick it in the corner, and they'll look to drive Glasgow over.
Well, certainly plenty of line-out options for Ulster, with Alan O'Connor, Franco van der Merwe, and Ian Henderson in particular. Jackson hasn't quite made the corner.
6 man.
Yeah, it's not too bad. 50 metres out. It's nowadays that's not very far, but they look very impressive in the driving ball, and Glasgow do very well to stop them here.
Very best, who's only 3 Irish caps away from being the first Ulsterman to reach the century. Again, the throw is good, the take is good, the drive is looking pretty good. Best has ripped the ball down and is in possession of it, and here go Ulster again. Well, it's gone to ground, but Ulster, I think, are still moving forward. That's good Glasgow defending. Ruan Pienaar can't quite get it away. Here's Piatow. Little ripple rolls round Scotstoun. And again, Pienaar. Rodney Ayew lost his footing, but keeps the ball. Pienaar again. Ludick in the middle of all that. Great Glasgow defending, and the crowd really appreciating it. Pienaar says somebody go to the narrow side. That somebody is Rory Best. Ulster's trying so hard to find a way through, and it's knocked forward. And the crowd delighted with that, because Ulster's loose head prop Andrew Warwick couldn't quite hold it, and Rory Best gives him a wee pat and says, don't worry about it, there's plenty of time. There is plenty of time, but Ulster's opportunity taking, well, has to be worked upon.
Yeah, a little lapse of concentration there by Warwick, but get position. They're in the right area of the pitch. Ulster, they're playing the game in the right areas of the field, and I just think it's a matter of time. Glasgow do look tired. They don't look a threat with ball in hand really at the moment, and I think Ulster look the more powerful outfit. They have done from the start tonight. So yeah, I think they're looking for a big scrum here. Get the ball back inside Glasgow's half, and then start to build their game again. But I think Charles Piatow, every time he gets the ball, geez, he breaks a tackle, and he just looks such a threat.
Ulster have made 2 changes in the tight forwards in the front row. Ross Kane has come on in place of Rodney Ayew, and Big Pete Brown has come on in place of Franco van der Merwe. Will that make a difference in this put in? Oh, yes, it will. What a good Ulster scrum, and of course Rory Best in the middle of that. One of the best scrummaging hookers in the world, I would suggest. And Glasgow retain and regain possession. I think they have. They've had to work hard for it, and Ulster trying to put them off the ball. Roger Wilson held in there, not happy about it. Here come Glasgow trying to create a little bit of width. It's an absolute wrestle at that breakdown. In goes Lewis Wynn. Back to Pyrgos, nearly driven over. That's good driving by Ulster. Nothing wrong with that. The rucking was totally legal back in the Glasgow side. Huge pressure now. Oh, what a belt that's been given. Rob Little's knocked that on. Pride thought that. Here goes Jared Payne. And the touch judge in that far side. How unfortunate for Rob Little. First time in an artificial pitch, and he just lost the footing. And as he did so, he stuck out the little paw and it went forward. And again, you suddenly think, is Lady Luck not with this Ulster side tonight?
Yeah, I think they're too good. I think it's going to be not going to be luck that's going to be on tonight. I think it's going to be a skill that's going to get somebody over the line tonight. And I think Ulster have been, they can't look at it that way at all. Great kick, great clearance by Stuart Hogg there, and the ball was moving around a little bit. I think that just put Little off a little bit, and it just moved his feet a little bit, and the ball was moving in there. And yeah, unfortunate for the youngster, but I'm sure he'll recover. And but just things aren't going quite Ulster's way. The little mistakes are creeping in, and as you say, Glasgow needs to get some ball, they need to get some field position, and they need to obviously get at least 6 more points.
Ryan Wilson getting a little bit of treatment, seems to be fine again.
There's been a lot of injuries tonight. Quite a lot of knocks. The game's fast. There's a lot of big contacts tonight. I think Ulster have been very, very physical.
Glasgow made a replacement. Looks like I think Nick Grigg has come on.
Nick Grigg, yeah, he's
wearing number 22 to play in the centre.
He's come on for
Mark Bennett, I think.
Too many there, is it?
I think Mark Bennett's still there.
Okay, time on.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's Mark Bennett still there in the Dunbar. Yep.
Crouch!
More of that in a second or two when we get confirmation. So scrum to Glasgow. 16 minutes gone in the second half. Just 5 points between them. Glasgow inside Ulster's half for the first time in a wee while. Quickly away by Pyrgos. Russell. There's a big gap there. Hughes nearly through it. This is good stuff by Glasgow. And Ulster's midfield defence caught napping. Glasgow could steal something here, The men in black and blue not too far away. All they have to do is shift it. Well, there was a definite overlap there. Good tackling by Ulster. Glasgow now just hoping to press home their first advantage in the second half. Great driving by Puafisi, the replacement prop. Pyrgos pops it up to his co-skipper Johnny Gray, who's tackled by Henderson. That's nicely done by Glasgow. Away it goes, it's going to be a try, and guess who's got it? It's Tommy Seymour on Glasgow level. Well, we said whoever scored first in the second half could go on and win this game, and it's Glasgow who get the first score.
That's the first real bit of creativity we've seen from Glasgow tonight, and they broke the midfield there, got in behind Ulster, and that was a beautiful offload there at the end there by the Stuart Hogg, got his hands free and got the ball to Seymour to dot down. And yeah, I mean, listen, they've had 2 chances and they've scored 2 tries, and you got to applaud that. Ulster will feel, I gave a little bit, but they've got to get themselves back up now, get back up the park, and try and get another try on the board and get back into this game, because Glasgow have now got the confidence, they've got the energy, and a conversion to put them ahead.
Well, I'm not surprised that he's smiling. That's the 7th try of the season for Tommy Seymour, who's doing pretty splendid. No wonder Gregor Townsend had a wee smile on his face. I think both Jared Payne and Darren Kay went for the same man and left Tommy Seymour free in the wing, and he simply ambled over in the corner. Now can Russell give Glasgow the lead here? Listen to the crowd. What a wonderful kick. And if my sums are right, for the very first time in this game, Glasgow have gone ahead, and Ulster must be thinking, is it going to be deja vu? The last couple of times they've played on this ground, they've been leading going into the end of the third quarter, and they finished on the wrong side of the scoreline.
Yeah, a long way to go, yeah. 22 minutes to go. I think Ulster have got a lot more left in them as well. But, Glasgow, this game's about taking your chances. You can have possession all day long, but you've got to take your chances, and Ulster haven't done that so far tonight.
Roger Wilson has gone off. Clive Ross has come on, so Sean Reedy may well play number 8. Good aggressive stuff from the kick-off by Glasgow. Now, was there a foot and touch there? I don't think so. Pyrgos, who's played well. A little bit of nastiness breaking out at the breakdown, and the touch judge coming into play. Glasgow taking it forward, and there's a little air of confidence about this home side.
Scrum black.
Glasgow get the first, get the put into the scrummage. So that's they couldn't get the ball away, but they've kept possession, Craig.
They got possession. They're in control of the ball now. Like just look to probably hit Dunbar up here in the middle of the park and try and get a good kick in behind Pietau, or in behind Young Little. They'll probably target Young Little after that first knock on. They'll probably maybe try and play on him, try to get to him. But no, they just got to try to relieve the pressure and play in the right areas now.
Coming to the end of the third quarter here in Scotland, the rain is still coming down, but it's a very, very fine light drizzle. But the ball will still be a little bit on the slippery side. Big scrum this for Ulster. They need to try to disrupt if they possibly can. Pyrgos, who's played so well, gets it away, and Russell, wonderful strike, and Jared Payne has to leg it all the way back to his 22. That's a clever kick. What is Payne going to do? He's going to try and run, but he's well tackled. He's presented the ball nicely. Little had to come run from his opposite wing. Pienaar. Not a lot of room on that far side. Louis Ludic makes a bit of ground for the visitors. Pienaar shaving to kick. Has he kept that in field? And he hasn't. And these little errors and silly mistakes, if you can call them that, are costing Ulster at the moment.
Yeah, a great exit by Glasgow and Finn Russell. You say kick to land, not to hand. They kicked it, it hit grass, and it ran on, and took contact there and straight kick it. So a great battle there, kicking battle won by Glasgow, and it's now giving them field position on the Ulster 10-metre line. So it's a great opportunity now to put some more pressure on and more points on the board.
Andy Warwick leaves the field. Callum Black
That's not a full line.
Comes in to play loose head prop. It's Glasgow's throw. Clock has stopped at the moment, and that's the Ulster 10-metre line. Taken by Johnny Gray, Glasgow's captain for the evening. Ulster have reacted well at the line out, but Glasgow have it. Corey Flynn takes it on.
It's stolen by White.
Ulster player hauled out of it, but Ulster, I think, had maybe nicked that one. Now it's Pienaar. Jackson. Bit of a fumble there, but it's still there. Louis Ludic has got men outside him, and he's still going. It's good stuff by Ludic. He has to give this. Pienaar gets it away. Cave looking for two. Gets it to Jackson. This time will he score? He dives. Has he got to the line? Not quite. All he has to do is touch the bottom of the post, and the referee has given the try, and Jackson has made it after all. What a riposte by Ulster.
Great try, great handling. Turnover on their own 20, on their own sort of in between 22 and 10-metre line. Beautiful hands, straight in the line. Great little passes inside, and Jackson this time dived before the line and squeezed over. I'm not sure the referee saw it, but he must. He was pretty definite that he scored it. So great try and great riposte by Ulster, very much deserved.
Well, they took the courage and the ball in both hands, which is where you have to have the ball. Courage comes from within, and it was a wonderful passage of play and wonderful passing. And Jackson just drifted wide, and Darren Cave just delayed the pass sufficiently to give Jackson that little precious extra metre or two.
Yeah, and I thought the Ulster players held their depth. They didn't get too flat, didn't get too anxious, held the depth, and now beautiful soft passes put in. I think sometimes in the rain, sometimes it makes it concentrates the mind a little bit better, and the handling's been good tonight. There's been a few errors, but in general the handling's been excellent.
Well, Jackson has the points. Louis Ludic made all the running. He just bamboozled that defence. He cut back inside. Pienaar's pass was perfect. Likewise, Darren Cave, and Jackson head down, skated in from 15 metres out, just got it over and no more. And altogether, sure, well, Ian Davis was closer than us, so I think he was in a position, because if he hadn't seen it, guess where he would have gone? To the TMO. Jackson denied one at the start of the second half, now gets one. Ulster reply, they need to be careful. Peter Brown's underneath it. Rory Best gathers in. Referee playing advantage to Ulster from the knock-on. And no advantage came for Ruan Pienaar, couldn't hold.
Yeah, knock-on by Stuart Hogg there. That's the one area, that's a great kick by Ruan Pienaar. It's one area that Stuart Hogg that's got to improve on. He's winning the ball in the air. He sometimes just doesn't fully commit to it.
That's enough.
And he's knocked the ball in twice in that situation tonight. But a bit of a argy-bargy there from both teams.
Rory.
But it's a tight game, and tight games are gonna, it's gonna be tense. And both teams are desperate to win, and Ulster desperate to keep their winning run going.
I don't see any more of that on the field, okay? The whistle goes, you stop playing, we scrum, okay? Have a word, don't say anything.
Paddy Jackson was captaining the Ulster side. Rory Best deciding he doesn't want to take that role on. I made a bit of an error there, because I actually can see Franco van der Merwe playing down there. Sir Chalmers very kindly picked up my pen, which I've dropped. This is Paddy Jackson from a fair old way out, and he skated and he turned and he clearly got the contact between the ball and the try area. So Franco van der Merwe actually didn't go off. It was Alan O'Connor who went off in the Ulster second row.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
I've been impressed with Paddy Jackson's all-round game tonight. His running game. He doesn't look flustered. Years gone by, he looked flustered. He got flustered quite easily, and it affected him mentally. I think tonight, when he's been under pressure, he's just tucked back inside, and he's stronger physically now as well to cope with the contact.
I think Ruan Pienaar thought he was the recipient of a little bit of an off-the-ball nudge there, and he wasn't very happy about it. Just about 16 minutes to go. Solidly try between them. Good Ulster scrum, Reedy at number 8, where he played for half a dozen games at the end of last season. Ulster move it round.
Symbol.
And the referee says that just shunted round, so no change in the put-in, but they'll have to do it again.
Yeah, no, the scrum's a bit of a... To be fair, this kind of surface, there's very few scrums go down now, so that's one of the benefits of this kind of surface. There's very few resets, so the game is quicker and faster, and that's what we want to see.
Just hearing that Treviso have beaten the Dragons out in Italy, 27 points to 11 for the Italian side. And also, Austrians have come back a wee bit, but Leinster still leading by 31 points to 12. And if Ulster can hang on to this, if my sums are right, Ulster will move to the top of the table.
It's been a great start to the season for them. It's a strong league. Some really good teams. Ospreys have started well. Leinster have started well. And the Blues, Cardiff Blues, have started pretty well as well. So very competitive league this year.
Ulster at home to the Ospreys tomorrow week at Ravenhill, a game you can hear with us on BBC Radio Ulster. And then the following Friday on BBC Television Northern Ireland, we're off to the sports ground in Galway. And then the Europeans begin, and all the way through you can hear that with us on BBC Radio Ulster. Penalty against the Ulster front row. Callum Black guilty of driving in. Now this is well within the range of, if not Finn Russell, then Stuart Hogg. At this stage, would you be going for the 3 points just to close that gap? To leave you a penalty away from victory?
I think you probably maybe could and should, but they're going for the corner. But they're not. No, they're going for the. This is Finn Russell. That's a good kick. That's a good. Because in years gone by, and last season as well, at times he's missed those touches. You've got to find those touches and good touches to really put the defending team under pressure. And it's a great opportunity now for Glasgow to get another try on the board, driving maul, a set move off this line out. Glasgow scored a lot of tries off set line outs.
Alex Allen has told Corey Flynn where they wanted to go. It goes to the front. Peter Brown does a bit of dragging down. I think it was reasonably legal. Ulster scrapping away at the breakdown. Glasgow will have to go to ground because they can't drive the maul forward.
That's one.
Referee saying that's one. Now they move it away. Pyrgos. Good tackle in the middle of the park on Mark Bennett, who is actually on the field, so well done Craig Chalmers. Chance now for Glasgow. Here comes Russell looking for a wee bit of a gap. This is Corey Flynn. Tackled by the Ulster replacement wing Rob Little. Got a couple of tries in his debut at the start of the season. Ball has gone loose and Ulster give away another penalty.
And then kick it.
Well, they're making it easy for Glasgow, aren't they?
No, they are. I think Glasgow will go again to the corner. I think they'll back themselves. They'll go for this pushover try. There's still plenty of time on the clock. I mean, there's still 13 minutes to play. But yeah, going to go for the corner and go for this try. Keep the pressure on, and that's what they've got to do.
Might have been Rory Best, Ireland's captain, who gave that one away. But that matters not, because it's going to be a Glasgow throw, and they are 5 metres from the Ulster line. 12.5 minutes to go. 5 points between them. Ulster in the lead. Well taken by Johnny Gray. Down he comes, and he's still got the ball. Pete Brown is in the middle of all of that. He must stay onside.
Right, hands, 20, get out. 21. No.
Ulster told to get out of it. Clive Ross must get away. No penalties at this stage for Ulster. Referee's already given one penalty try. Pyrgos. Glasgow forwards bring it in field, some 15 metres. Now there's a chance. They're great at moving the ball wide. What a tackle that was. Pyrgos again. They do have men wide, but there's no link man in the middle of all of it. Pyrgos is looking for somebody. Now he's got it in the shape of his hooker Fraser Brown, who's playing as a flanker, and he's made very good ground. The capacity crowd of 7,000 here getting behind Glasgow. Did that go back? It doesn't matter. It's been snaffled by Louis Ludoc. What a crucial steal that might prove to be. Pienaar has Jackson behind him, but he's had a look himself. Gets it to Piatow. Oh, that's a very poor kick by Piatow, and here comes Hogg, who will run and tantalise. And this is huge. Into Rob Little, who tackles him well. Glasgow on the front foot. Johnny Gray. That's a good effort there in defending once again by Ulster and by Louis Ludoc. Surprise, surprise. Ulster might have turned this one over. No, it's there for Glasgow. Pyrgos. There are men wide for Glasgow. All they have to do is shift it if they possibly can. They're going route one, and again it's Mark Bennett. It's slowed, but again it's Glasgow. It's Thompson, the replacement. Pyrgos pops it up. Ulster really battling. Sean Reedy with the crucial tackle, but back on the Glasgow side. Ulster need to be careful. Still there for Glasgow. 10 metres to the Ulster line. Now it's down to 5. This is good work by Glasgow. Van der Merwe with the tackle. Now they move it wide. There's a chance now for Hogg. A little sidestep. Tackle was by Piatow. Pyrgos again. Taken on well, and well held by Thompson. Ulster steal it. Pete Brown gets it away. Franco van der Merwe under his own posts. Well presented by the Springbok. Jared Payne with the clearing kick, and that has to find touch, and it has found touch. Well, Ulster living so dangerously, Craig.
Very dangerously. A little error there by Glasgow, and it started off with that loose kick to Stuart Hogg, and he drags defenders onto him and puts other guys into space. But yeah, Ulster surviving. Great defence by Ulster, to be fair. Some great tackles on that 5 metre line there. But they've cleared the ball into touch now. Get a little bit of a rest, get the breath back, and then attack. They'll probably attack this line out and try and win it against the throw.
Well, he's caused Ulster all sorts of problems in the past. Last time Ulster were here, he scored a kick and chase try, and then landed a huge penalty from the halfway line to deny Ulster a losing bonus point. Ryan Wilson is leaving the field, so I'm not exactly sure who they're going to bring on. It's going to be the 18-year-old Matt Fagerson.
Matt Fagerson, yeah,
who's going to come on.
Xander's younger brother is a good young prospect. He's been playing locally for Glasgow Hawks Club, week in, week out. So he's in the academy, the Scottish academy based in Glasgow, the Glasgow club. So he's a real one for the future.
Well, first appearance for him. It's all a little bit loose. Ulster come through. Well away though. Glasgow have regained possession, and they want to try to keep possession. Ulster playing a dangerous attempted intercept game there. Ball back in the Glasgow side. Pyrgos, who's been terrific at scrum half. Taken on by another of the Glasgow youngsters, Lewis Wynn. Russell. Ulster can't afford to miss a single tackle. Glasgow have won it. Pyrgos gets it away. Taken on by Puafisi, the replacement prop. Glasgow maybe looking for a penalty into the corner, but they've nudged it forward. And Ulster are going to get the put into the scrum. Glasgow have been dominating territory, certainly for the last 15 minutes or so.
No, they have, but you see just a little bit tiredness creeping into the game. You know, one or two younger guys are starting to tire. And there's no subs to bring on now, I don't think, on both sides. They've used up most of them, so you know, they're going to have to play with what they've got. But these little errors, you've got to try and cut them out if Glasgow are going to have any chance of winning this game. But Ulster now in the 22, they're going to have to try and exit here, try and put Glasgow under pressure. But you know, Glasgow are finding a bit more space now, a bit more space to run at, with like the Stuart Hogg being far more prominent in this second half.
Another youngster, Ali Price, has come on at scrum half with Henry Pyrgos, who's had a very good game here at Scotstoun, leaving the field. Ulster have still got one man on the bench to come on. That's scrum half Paul Marshall, who's recovered from a rib injury. Missed a couple of games, which is not like him. I think he's only missed a handful of games in about the last 10 years. Clock starts again, 8 minutes to go, and 5 points between them. Solid looking Ulster scrum. Pienaar outside is 22. Leaves it for Reedy. Now Ulster going to pick up and drive. Reedy does pick up. Gets it away quite nicely. Well taken on by Darren Cave. I heard a squeak there. I hope he hasn't hurt himself. I think he has, you know. Ulster still in possession inside their own 10-metre line. Now it's Pienaar to Jackson. He's given that a lot of height, and Ludick is chasing. Oh, Ludick's done well to gather. What a good game Louis Ludick has had for Ulster.
Ball's there.
He says the ball is there. Ulster will have to play it. Who's at it outside half? It was Darren Cave. Piatow was at a very quiet second half, and he couldn't get the pass away to Rory Best.
Black ball.
Oh, great chase by Ludick. Great kick and great chase and great take. And
yeah, back and then bounce forwards, just backwards.
Pienaar was looking for a penalty there, didn't get it. Just delayed the ball coming back slightly. Just cut down the time for Piatow, and Piatow gave a poor pass out to the wing, and you know, turned over the ball cheaply to Glasgow.
Glasgow are going to employ a shortish line out at this stage. There's a new man at the back, Matt Fagerson, wearing number 20. Opposite him, Ian Henderson with no number in his back. Well won by Johnny Gray. Russell. Good tackle by Sean Reedy.
Who's it?
Price. Little pop up. Callum Black with the tackle for Ulster. No way through on the narrow side. The other replacement prop, Ross Kane, does a decent bit of work. Referee says play on. Ulster thought there might have been a knock on. There's a wee chance here if Glasgow can get away from the would-be tacklers, and too much room been given there to Fraser Brown. Glasgow on the narrow side, there's not much room there. Rory Best with a tackle, little in there as well. Aggressive stuff with the breakdown by Glasgow, who've muscled their way back into Ulster territory. Fraser Brown again holding off Reedy. Price gets it away to Russell. Taken on by Lewis Wynn. Good work by Ulster at the breakdown. Pienaar. Piatow, little chip and chase by Piatow. Here he goes, just needs to kick it. He does, he needs another kick. Glasgow comes storming back. Wonderful piece of play there by, I'm pretty sure it was Tommy Seymour. And away comes Glasgow. It's Hughes gets across the 22. What a good man to have coming off the bench. 5 minutes remaining. Quite thought Ulster were offside there, and the referee agrees. Piatow a little bit over anxious. And Glasgow get the penalty, and they've taken it quickly. But they've slipped. Well, they've taken it, so doesn't matter what happens, and Ulster managed to win it. And Rory Best has knocked it forward. Well, a lot of ring rust there from Rory Best, who hasn't played a game of rugby since the third test for Ireland against South Africa way back in June.
Yeah, no, having his kind of experience on the pitch at this point in the game is vital, I think, and he'll be departing the wise words to the players at the moment. A little bit of breaking play now, just try to calm their heads. They've got a good field position here. Just got to make sure they keep their heads and don't give away too many penalties. There are a lot of penalties at the moment getting given away.
Play stops. It's been played at a heck of a pace. Just under 5 minutes remaining.
It is, and Glasgow are looking more and more dangerous. You know, they are getting a bit of space there. You know, Piutau had a little break there. Rory Hughes, you know, counter-attacked. Looked like he was going to, you know, break through. If somebody been on his shoulder, you know, who knows what could have happened. It could have been length of the pitch stuff, but you know, it's an exciting game. It's been a good game. Both teams have tried to play. You know, Ulster have played probably better, certainly first half. Glasgow have come into it far more the second half. We've seen far more of the likes of Seymour and Hogg. It's going to be it's a close finish.
Well, the clock will be starting any second now. We thought he was going to come on a little bit earlier, but actually we do have Nick Grigg on.
I think Rory Hughes has gone off, I think Rory Hughes has gone off with a head knock, I think.
Alex Allen on the loose head side now for Glasgow. Should change the entire front row. Likewise Ulster. 4.5 minutes remaining. As Hughes has gone off. They can also put a little bit of pressure in this makeshift Glasgow scrummage. Yes, they can. That's a good shove by Ulster. Good work by Sean Reedy, but well away by Ali Price. Gets away from Pienaar and down and up again. That's good work by Price. He should have been nailed first time with the ball. Glasgow trying to punch holes in Ulster's close range defence. Alan Black must get out of the way. Henderson looking suspiciously offside. Lewis Wynn, who will have enjoyed his first start for Glasgow. Corey Flynn, been there, seen it, done it, the All Black. Glasgow trying to create a little bit of width, and they may well have done that. You know, they've 3-2 there, but they're coming back inside. Good aggressive stuff by Mark Bennett. Tackle! Sean Reedy made the tackle. Price. Glasgow just keeping possession and making precious metre after metre. Russell. Good tackle. Darren Cave in there. Couldn't quite pinch the ball. Well, the adage for Ulster must be no penalties at this stage. Glasgow into the opposition half. Van der Merwe was the tackler. Russell. Well, lovely soft handling by Glasgow. Price on that narrow side changes his mind. Oh, Ulster missed the first tackle. Still there for Glasgow. They really have been the better side in this second half. Whereas Ulster were very much the better side in the first.
Let it come, White, let it come, White.
Ulster told to let it come. Again, Glasgow making some ground, and again it's that man Corey Flynn. Puafisi. Good support play from young Thompson. And Glasgow give away the penalty.
That could be crucial, you know. Good patience by Glasgow, but they weren't really going anywhere. And good discipline by Ulster. No penalties given away. And then Glasgow infringed there. And they should be able to clear this ball out of the half, get the ball up to Glasgow's 22 and start building a platform for there and try and wind down the last 2.5 minutes.
And they've entrusted the kick to touch to Ruan Pienaar, who doesn't disappoint. That's a very good kick by Ruan Pienaar with just over 2 minutes remaining.
This is a line that Glasgow have got to compete for. They've got to have a real go at this one. Try and win the ball back and try and get down the other end. And they're going to have to try and play their way down there because they can't afford to turn over the ball in any shape or form in this last 2.5 minutes. But it's going to be exciting. It's also a chance for Ulster to, you know, get another try and to deprive Glasgow of any points at all.
Well, the host broadcasters have nominated Finn Russell as the man of the match, probably wearing an Ulster hat, as I'm accused of doing. Louis Ludick didn't have a bad game either, did he?
I think Louis Ludick's been outstanding tonight. Had a really good game. I think Marshall's had a good game as well. Sorry, not Marshall. Jackson's had a good game at 10. Paddy Jackson. So yeah, a number of good players in the.
Ulster's line out from the penalty. Callum Black has a wee word with Rory Best, with whom he soldiered away in the front row for many, many years. Ulster's throw. Pete Brown gets one hand to it. Glasgow very nearly disrupted. They're doing their very best to regain possession. Under 2 minutes to go. It will have to be 2 minutes of up the jumper for Ulster. There's Clive Ross, who started the first 3 games. Pienaar thought about the narrow side. Now to Rory Best. Pienaar just half impeded there. Clive Ross on the narrow side. They'll have to keep it going this direction. They miss out Peter Brown. Clive Ross goes to the deck. Henderson waiting. Gets it in the big pause, and Glasgow close him down and knock him back a metre or so. Great defending by Glasgow, but Ulster have still got the ball. Now, can they keep it for a minute and under 20 seconds to win this game? Brown. No penalties at the breakdown for Ulster. Ross Kane very nearly going over the top there. Referee happy. Franco van der Merwe. Glasgow player coming in from the side. It was Puafisi again. Pienaar. Gets it to Clive Ross. Freshish legs. That's good ground by Ross. He's picked up all that lost ground. Here comes Henderson. Into the last minute. Pienaar. Can they hang on to it for, well, 40 seconds or even maybe less now? And they're doing their very best. It's not pretty to look at, but it's pretty effective. Pienaar can't be interfered with at that stage. Callum Black goes to ground into the last half minute. Can Ulster hang on to this one and get a famous victory here in Scotstoun and go, if my sums are right, top of the Pro 12 table after 4 rounds played? 4-1-4 for Ulster it's going to be. 15 seconds to go. Pienaar saying, come on, somebody run and take them on. Pops it up to Rory Best, more than willing. Great man himself goes to ground. Pienaar again.
5 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Callum Black. Glasgow so frustrated that Ulster not giving them a look at the ball. It's gone into the 80 minutes. Back to Jared Payne, who does the honours. Into touch it goes, and Ulster have won on Glasgow soil for the first time since 2011. Paddy Jackson very much at the heart of everything there. Gregor Townsend will be a bit disappointed. His side had to give second best in the first half. But Craig, quick word from you. On balance, Ulster just about deserving that?
Yeah, I think on balance, a deserving victory tonight. I think Glasgow were far better second half than they were in the first. And I think Ulster showed real character the way they came back in the last 15-20 minutes and got back and won that game. And yeah, thoroughly deserved. And yeah, it's looking good for the rest of the season for Ulster. A real strong squad.
Well, it looked ominous for Ulster when Tommy Seymour got the try. Finn Russell converted for 17-15 to Glasgow, but Paddy Jackson scored right at the post, added the conversion, and Ulster have won this one to go top of the table. Final score at Scotstoun: Glasgow Warriors 17 and Ulster 22.
Well, a hard-fought victory enjoyed by Ryan Constable and Stephen Ferris, and winning away from home so early in the season is always a big confidence booster, isn't it?
Fantastic, great result. The boys will be feeding off that for the next week, and it's just the momentum just keeps building. And for me, the best team won tonight. We had a couple of disallowed tries. We played more rugby than Glasgow. Our defence in the second half really improved. We got off the line well, and the boys should be proud of their performance tonight. And
that was a game that Ulster at one stage could have lost. Some great defence at the end to keep them out, and obviously wearing the clock down brilliantly there too.
Yeah, well, at the 60-minute mark they're behind, and you're going, is this a repeat of previous performances we've seen where Glasgow just find a way to stay in the game and then sneak it at the death? But fair play to Ulster. They were the dominant team on the day, but they had to work hard in that last 15 minutes to really get the result, and they'll take a lot of confidence. It's not just an away win, it's an away win against Glasgow, which they haven't done in the last 5 outings, and a team you expect to be in the top 4.
If Glasgow were going to score in the second half, it had to be the former Ulsterman Tommy Seymour, of course. His 7th try in 4 games, and it really got Glasgow back into the game.
It did, and just a couple of errors just after half-time where we went for a charge down and they got it away, and then unfortunately we just a little knock on which turned the momentum of the game. And in fairness to Glasgow here, they take it well, and Jared comes in, he just gets the offload away. There's a short runner coming short there. Jared thought he was maybe going to slip it to him, and he gets the ball away. It's a good finish, it's a good try. Who do you want on the end of it? Tommy Seymour. He's probably one of the most informed wingers in the competition, so that got Glasgow. You can see Gregor Townsend shaking his head saying we don't really deserve this, but we're back in the game.
And those offloads are the feature. That was the initial break, and then the offload, and then for the try again the offload, and that's what's difficult for opposition defences when you get players who are offloading and players coming from depth at pace. that's how you score tries.
And at one point you felt as if this might not be Ulster's night when Paddy Jackson was clean through, scintillating break.
Well, Jim Neely was telling us in the commentary all night that Ulster were going to get beaten, but thankfully we proved Jim wrong. Amazing break by Paddy Jackson. I think everybody doesn't know what Paddy Jackson's pace is like. Well, that's his pace right there. Unfortunately, he just gets the ball knocked out, and it did get brought back for an earlier incident, but he's the informed 10 for me. I don't know, what do you think, Ryan, in Irish rugby, and he's shown his true colours this last couple of weeks.
It's going to be an interesting match-up internationally between him and Sexton, isn't it? It's a proper duel now between the two.
Yeah, you just see the way his game's developed over the recent years, and that 3-test tour to South Africa was really the making of him. That's a big pressure game, big opposition, and he performed particularly well. He's brought that form into the start of this season, and we saw a vast array of his skills tonight. It was his kicking out of hand, he showed his acceleration, he's starting to control the game, and that's the important thing to play in a Joe Schmidt coach team. You have to be able to implement a game plan, and that's what we're starting to see from Paddy Jackson.
If he had been disappointed with the finish there, he certainly wasn't for the try. I mean, he took his try brilliantly, didn't he?
He did, but there was a lot of great build-up play before. They recognised the space on the outside, some nice passing, ball out in front, simple things done right. Louis Ludic shows a bit of pace there, ball back inside, quick hands by Ruan. Darren Shaw draws the man, passes the Paddy, goes to ground a little bit earlier than he did in his previous one, and the boys bundle in behind him and he gets over for the try. What a well-worked try by the boys.
You look at the top teams in international rugby, like the All Blacks, like Saracens, and they execute the basics well at pace. Just the perfect illustration of there. See the space, a cut on the inside line preserves the space, and then perfect timing of the pass out in front of the player, support players coming from depth onto the ball, and just they make it look simple.
Is it fair to say first half Ulster weren't particularly impressive without the ball, but second half they defended much better, and that was the key in the end of winning the game?
I think the reason being is because they had so much ball in the first half, and when they did have to defend for smaller bits of that first half, they weren't, as up to scratch as they would like. But in the second half, they put their bodies on the line. They're getting off the line, which is important. A couple of tackles there. That's Stuart Hall against Charles Piatai, and no problem for Charles. Paddy Jackson put in a massive hit before that, and that just sets the tone for the rest of the lads, and they defended the line. Franco does the right thing here, no silly 50-50s, goes to the ground and we clear our lines once again. But as I said earlier on there, I think we thoroughly deserved the victory.
Ulster now unbeaten. They're top of the table, Ryan, as well. And first half tonight, they scored a superb try thanks to that Charles Piatai break. If people are just coming in tonight, take a look at this. It is worth another watch.
Yeah, and threatening all night. There is absolutely no space there, and how he manages to evade those three tacklers, steps a fourth, and then the perfectly timed pass. And then there's no panic from Ulster. They have to go to ground, they recycle it quickly. It gets a little bit scrappy, but again, it's players holding their depth. You've got tight head props, you've got second rows, and then the outside backs. Sean Reedy timing the pass perfectly, and Darren Cave, he scored plenty of tries for Ulster on conditions like this. You go early and you slide low, and he did exactly that. A clinical finish again from Ulster.
Perfect start to the season for Ulster, even though quite a lot of fans have been complaining quite a lot that they haven't been playing particularly well.
Yeah, but we don't need to. You got to play what's in front of you, and I think they've done that very well the last few weeks. The challenge now over the next couple of months is when the internationals disappear for the autumn series and how they cope with that. But they're on a nice wave at the minute, and long may it continue. OK, Stephen, Ryan, thank you very much for your company tonight. Next up for Ulster is on Saturday week. It's the Ospreys at the Kingspan Stadium. We have live commentary on BBC Radio Ulster. And then the first Irish derby of the season is live here on BBC Two. Ulster travel to Connacht on October the 7th. It's going to be a big game. That's it tonight. Thanks very much to Ryan and to Stephen. Ulster make it 4 out of 4. And they're top of the league. Bye-bye.